Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ghost of the Machine, a D&D live play. Ooh, wow, my beard is crazy. A D&D live play about memory, identity, magic, and politics. I am your host and dungeon master, Matthew Foreman. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you.
See, it's going around. They can't see that.
They cannot. I think I actually like this view better than like the rest of you on camera. We could just try this for one night.
Yeah, workshop it a
little. I am your host and dungeon master. We are joined by our usual cast of players. Here they are. Say hi.
Hey. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, man.
Just for clarification, he asked for a round of applause, and I did this, but the camera wasn't on me. So
okay.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, I just... Sorry. I'm good now.
I just said no.
We see some familiar faces in chat. Dice Priori, how you doing?
He's our favorite.
He's here all week, folks.
I think this should just be a comedy show.
It isn't already?
It isn't? Whoops. So what do we got for announcements this week, folks? I got one or two. Well, who wants to start?
Should we announce the... Nope. Maybe not. Never mind.
Alrighty. No, maybe not. We're announcing No Maybe Not tonight.
Wow. A brand new stream. Nope, maybe not. Join us.
I was going to ask before we started, and then we ran out of time.
Do we want to allude to Friday content?
I am having a session 0 that will be recorded, not streamed, for a stream that will be... I will be DMing a cast of new players starting next Friday, 9:30 p.m. Nice. It'll be Storm King's Thunder. It'll be an official module set in the Forgotten Realms. And we'll announce the players next week on stream. But we're having our session 0 this Friday. We're going to record it and maybe one day release it to the public. One day. But not this week.
So where are they at?
Where are they at?
Yeah, you said it's somewhere. Like the campaign is somewhere.
Forgotten Realms.
Oh. Huh.
Oh, fuck me. You forgot it.
Yeah.
You walked line and sinker straight into that punch wall.
I jumped. I plowed my way through. There were
really
warning signs, and I
Right.
I am just one big warning sign.
I have just a really quick one.
Yeah.
So I guested on the Mythos Mystery Society. They can be found on YouTube. So if you just search Mythos Mystery Society, I was in Operation Fulminate, which is using the Delta Green system. So I was playing an Ezekiel Pentagast. So check that out. Show them some love. They make 30-minute episodes, so the session was longer, but they break them up.
Yep. Nice. Check those. That's friend of the shows. Be sure to check them out. As always, remember Animal Helper, 501c3, New Orleans. They've got all sorts of stuff going on. Go to Facebook where you can get updated on their stories about the at-risk animals. Sad stuff, man.
And then always check below. We've got links to everything you could ever imagine. Animal Helper, Discord.
H.P. Lovecraft's fan fiction.
Yes, David Bowie fan fiction.
Which is one of the same, actually.
Yeah, literally just David Bowie is down below the stream, too. I wouldn't believe it.
We should probably just
We keep him underneath the table. He didn't die.
Oh,
God, dark. Liz is playing a necromancer. So
I was thinking more along the lines of like that scene in Rocky Horror.
yeah.
Oh, God, okay.
Oh, wow.
That's
When
what
you said we keep him under the table, I was like, oh.
That's kind of what I was imagining.
I'm going to be on Variant Roles these next few Sundays. I'm going to be playing a ghost named Peter Poindexter. He is a sad ghost and specter, and that's like 7 or 8 p.m. on Variant Roles Central. And I'll be on there for the next couple Sundays.
And speaking of David Bowie, I just unveiled my new character on this round of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which I'm in on Mondays. So just 2 days ago, I unveiled that I am playing Jareth, the Goblin King.
The Goblin King?
Yes.
So
and
good.
And I just got a wig in today, and I'm so excited.
Nice.
I did full makeup and an outfit and everything.
It's so good.
It's so much fun.
Good.
So much fun. So Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's on Variant Roles, and I will be there this next 2 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, it's also recorded on the internet.
Yeah.
Yep,
Go
for
find
VODs.
her on socials. Go look at their VODs.
Oh
Go
my
watch
gosh.
next week.
It's
That's
so
awesome.
good. And I will be dressing up on the Monday craft stream because there is not enough time in
Yep.
between me ending the craft stream and me being on variant rolls. So I'm going to be crafting at 5 these next 2 Mondays, 5 Central, and in full Bowie.
All right. And just remember, if you are listening or watching the stream, our VODs are available, and our entire library is pretty much on Twitch as well as YouTube. And check our socials, and we're in podcast format around the globe.
Yep. I will have, hopefully, the last couple episodes up to today's date done this weekend.
Cool. So, let's start with our recap. I'll kind of kick us off here a little bit. After fleeing from Gish, after slaying your ally turned enemy Morgan, and then fleeing to Gish, and then finding out Justice's, alternate identity, and then coming back to Bridgeton, where you guys met a rock merchant who tried to sell you some rocks, but actually ended up being a very colorful and entertaining figure who had some valuable pieces of information. You guys parted it back into the mists. And what happened then?
We met a bunch of giants.
You did. Giants and half-giants and all the like.
Mhm.
Among them was their leader, the Son of Storms. What did he have to say?
Well, first, I almost bested him in one-on-one combat.
You tried. It was really sweet.
It was this close.
Well, but it was a series of trials to actually kind of prove our honorability with him, or to be able to even really parlay with him. We had to do a few things in order for us to get him to take us seriously. I thought.
Yep.
We had to reveal a hidden secret.
Yep.
About ourselves.
Yeah.
And throw something valuable into a fire.
Correct.
And Svelius threw in one of the 2 moon apple seeds, the only
I-
2 that we're aware that exist left in the world.
I did, but allies are important. And
That's
so,
true. That's intense.
Yeah.
But
It was
we,
crazy.
We did warn him of the incoming apocalypse, and basically, are we going to be the last person left on the cinder, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so he seems to have, well, maybe a mutual enemy to deal with.
He had a bit of tunnel vision about Bridgeton and what they did, and we kind of tried to open that vision up and say, like, hey, if everything falls, then bad things.
That's right.
Yep. And you guys were bedding down just in time for Selena to do a dream sequence. And what happened in that dream sequence, Selena?
So, as we recently leveled up, I now have extra spell slots to do the dream spell.
Nice.
And
Let me just get these out.
Good God.
Sorry, go ahead.
you got them all?
Yep.
Good. All I hear over there is just more.
On the mic.
Yeah, this became an ASMR stream. Or ASMR. I don't know
I
if you
get
can
better
actually
rules when I
say
bounce
that.
my dice off the button.
I thought you were
the
talking
middle.
about the race in D&D for a second. I was like,
No, no.
Asm.
no.
Protector,
ASMR.
Scourge, or Fallen. What are we talking here?
So you-
So, dream sequence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Focus. Put the blinders on.
That's not
Um,
possible.
The first dream sequence we had, we sent Gilly to talk to her mother. The one we don't know where either of them are, but the one we know is on the material plane. And she had a conversation making sure that they were safe and hopefully feels better about it.
Somewhat, yep.
And then you turned your attention to Cassandra Moira, the Grand Duchess of East Wing.
It did. I went to Cassandra as myself. We have batted around an idea for the last for a number of streams ever since we got Alric back, that we would present ourselves as Fonzia Moira, her lost sister, potentially as Alric, since he had the most information about her and could be the most convincing. But like all good plans, it completely fell apart. And I showed up as myself and found a lonely, tired young woman instead of a raging enemy that I was expecting.
It's pretty.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
We pick back up
Don't you do it, Matt.
with a long rest. Well, we'll see who can complete the long rest. Selena, would you make me a wisdom saving throw?
I
Oh,
can
no.
certainly try.
Uh-oh.
So I'm a terrible player. Do I have this inspiration from DM or do I have this inspiration from you?
I gave you inspiration before we did the dreams.
Yes, so
Which
I do
lasts
not
10 minutes.
have inspiration anymore. Got it. So rolling me a d20. We'll go with a big one. Wisdom saving throw, you say?
Yep.
Okay. Is it for a charm effect?
It is not.
Okay.
It is for a fear effect.
Oh,
Great.
neat. I am immune to frighten effects.
From Fae and Beast, correct?
Oh god, now I have to look up the new
It's a new
feature.
level 10 feature.
Class features.
Class features.
It's an 18 no matter what this says. You cannot be charmed or frightened by elementals or fae.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, so that's 18.
18?
Yes,
You're
please.
fine. So you are visited by flashes and of a horrid monstrosity that crawls into your dream as you try to attempt to sleep peacefully. There is a kind of gnawing and slashing form and figure at you as it kind of materializes to your worst nightmares. You see everything you ever worried about come to fruition at the behest of this beast. But you resolve and steal your will, and you're fine. You benefit from a long rest. You have all successfully completed a long rest, and it is 20 days until the blood moon.
Uh-oh.
Boy,
Uh-oh.
There we go.
it's fun.
Oh.
And you would recognize that as the nightmare part of a dream spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, even...
Someone dreamed you.
I think we know who that was. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And it is technically not a fear effect. It doesn't actually have the frightened condition.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. We're in danger.
When aren't we in danger anymore?
That's true.
It's okay, I'm the only one that, legit sleeps. So,
That's true.
including the NPCs we carry around in this party with us. I'm the only one who legit sleeps.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
The weakness of flesh.
I know. Why did I pick this again?
Since it's been a while, I'm going to play my violin a little bit overnight.
Okay.
I'll maybe go up to like that central fireplace or whatever, out
Okay.
of the tent, and I will just play something that I feel is thematically or mood appropriate.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll performance.
Yeah.
This is still a little overnight before you guys do it.
It's a 17 on the dice, and I am proficient with this thing, so that would be, I believe, no, that can't be it. That's a 24.
You give a stirring, beautiful performance.
Awesome. And then, satisfied, I will go back into the tent.
Alrighty. Clicky, clicky. Alright, we're good. So you guys stir. The the mist is heaviest in the morning, you will find. And the mist and the dew stick to your forms as you guys stir to what I imagine is an early morning, trying to get the make the most out of your time. What do you wish to do, Prism?
We don't have a far journey, but we do have a bit of a journey. It'll be a long day. We should get going as soon as possible.
Indeed. Is there anything that we should acquire before we go in this camp, or should we just head off? I believe you guys needed something to help you breathe in the lake. Did you acquire it?
Oh, yes, that's right. We had a long rest.
Were
and-
you able to prepare that water breathing spell, Selena?
Take a
That
minute.
and freedom of movement is probably helpful in the water.
Okay.
I'll let Liz prepare her spells here for a minute. So around the morning feast table, you can see a lot of people. It was a pretty good party last night. You guys enjoyed yourselves, but then you knew you had a limited amount of time, so you sealed yourselves away. And you can see a couple people are now stirring. You can see the hill giant High Shaman is there. Thunderspeaker Tharga is there, and the Thunderstorms is there around this feast table in the morning as you guys kind of discuss on the far end. The Son of Storms will speak up. Like, sure, where do you find yourselves headed this morning?
Oh, just, into the lake. Into the loch. As you do. Just for a swim. Or whatever.
For what reason would you enter Fallowglen Loch?
We seek to find a coven of hags.
I imagine there will be any number of strange creatures beneath those waters, including hags.
Do you or any of your scouts have any prior knowledge of the threats in the general vicinity?
No! All that ever kept us from moving our armies in were the control that Agnes had over the forest, the powers of the Fae, as well as, of course, a formidable green dragon which would often terrorize the borderlands.
Now with both of those out of your way.
Yes, a fortuitous turn of events, to be sure.
Whoever defeated those extremely challenging enemies ought to be a force to be reckoned with, I would imagine.
Probably were rewarded somehow.
I'm sure the people who were dispatched on those missions were handsomely rewarded. Since I did not request that they do that, I won't be doling out a reward.
I mean, accolades is also quite a reward.
Accolades. Sorry, that got me.
He'll say, however, I do wish to at least offer a humble token based on your experiences last night. Hi, shaman. And she stands up. Ooh, you impressed us greatly. And she throws a pair of boots and they land on the table. Storm jumpers.
What do they do?
I'm not going to explain a magic item in this voice.
In detail.
Thank you. I'll try. You know what? Fuck it, I'll try.
Go for it.
They do not require attunement.
That's hot.
They allow the wearer to deal an additional 1d4 lightning damage with their unarmed strikes. Also,
Those seem perfect for me.
That look at me for some reason.
well, you'd be surprised.
Don't touch my boots.
Once per short rest, they can use their bonus action to teleport in a blinding flash up to 90 feet away. Creatures of their choosing within 30 feet will take lightning damage.
Oh, that's hot.
Pretty hot.
I will slowly nudge them over towards Justice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, put them on D&D Beyond, yeah. Because I'm lazy.
Are there any objectives? I'm gonna slip those boots over my stealth boots.
So 1d4 lightning damage added on to unarmed strikes.
Got it.
And then it's bonus action teleport 90 feet. Point that you can see.
While we're explaining things and while he's typing, if someone is bespelled by water walking, can they will themselves under the water?
Spelled? Like, yeah, they can. It just allows them to walk. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, they choose whether or not they want to float when it's cast and stuff, so. And so it'll be creatures of your choosing within 30 feet at the point that you leave.
Within 30 feet, yep.
Dex save.
And what was the damage?
We'll find out, won't we?
I'm gonna use it in water. that can work really well.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Creatures I can choose, right?
Unless you're in water.
I'm excited. Thank you for this very generous gift.
You are welcome. You proved yourself. And the honesty you shared through the fire moved the spirits.
Honesty between allies is very important.
It is all that we have in the coming wars and days.
I couldn't agree more.
It's especially important if we're to have any further diplomatic relations in terms of the glide.
Yes. She pulls out a rock. For you!
Thank you very much.
All that you sacrificed yesterday did not go unnoticed.
It's just a rock. I'm kidding.
Find out later when I guessed identify.
Alright.
When you cast identify, it's not a rock, it's actually a lobster.
It's a
Rock lobster.
So, does anyone have any questions for me before you guys, I'm assuming, set off towards Fallowglen?
I would like to take 10 minutes before we set off to identify my rock.
Alright, it's a rock.
Awesome.
But you're supposed to throw it at people.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will just stick
You
that
have
in my
another
bag.
grenade.
Identify tells you one message. So, like, when you use identify, you kind of see and it kind of speaks to you. It says, throw this at people. Hey, you don't have an enemy.
Yeah, obviously.
Just throws it.
Throw a rock at your gilly
Throws it at
cat.
Justice. Oh my god! He throws it at Justice. He's like, oh no, I didn't think about the missiles.
Perfect. Alright, I'm going to just put it away in my bag for now.
Okay, perfect.
How much does it weigh? Is it going to be a problem underwater?
It would help you walk on the bottom, because water walking doesn't help you do that.
Correct.
Imagine it being able to swim.
Correct.
So, you're welcome for all the hill giant shaman gave you. Hi, shaman.
I love it. So just for you said, is there any questions that we had?
Yes.
So we're heading into Flowgan Lock, which clearly has some kind of monster in the bottom of it that's been living there for millions of years.
Sure.
And we're trying to
The
find
dinosaur got in the lock.
the leftover hags because we're trying to figure out how to make that connection to the deceased Agnes, for lack of a better word.
Sorry, I got distracted by Emma. I thought Emma. So you are going there. So the reason why is roughly what you've made out is you need glitch.
Yeah.
You ain't know how to get glitch. You need glitch to get Agnes. You don't know how to get to glitch, and glitch in his desperate attempt told you Greenboro, and that has led you here.
Perfect.
Right.
Yep.
That's about So you're hoping.
We're hoping to
Grass.
somehow get to
Yeah.
There's some straws.
straws. With
This
grass
seems
in
right.
it.
Straws in a world filled of non-engineering things. They have straws here?
Straws? Yeah, it's actually a pretty industrial world.
Okay, perfect.
Just a
We
hollowed
have
out
straws.
reed.
Whole straws.
Made from lead.
They've been recently banned, the paper ones or the plastic ones. Yeah.
Okay. And how would you like? So you the most famous point that you guys have ever experienced for entering Fallowglen Lock. I mean, you can just go there, but is the stone table where Gilly was born. That's the most famous site. That's the only time you've actually been next to the lake.
So before we leave this circle, I would make sure that I had ritually cast water breathing and water walk.
Okay.
And I would have offered both to the Son of Storms and his group.
Oh, we'll welcome your boon.
And so I would have added 4 or 5 of them, however many
Okay.
were necessary.
Okay.
Nice.
Say thank you.
So water breathing and water walk, you guys can walk on water, mud, lava, quicksand, pretty much anything that's liquid or considered liquids for physics sake, and then you can breathe in water.
What about non-Newtonian?
You bastard. I was thinking the same thing.
So you know what? You don't need a water walk for non-Newtonian fluids. You
Just
can
nip it
just
out
stomp
quickly.
your way across like the, angry 4-year-old you are.
I'm gonna give myself an inspiring speech. No one else. I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't be the first time. No, I'm kidding.
I have to pep talk myself in the morning.
I'm just
So
gonna
you
give.
can even walk on the lava, quicksand, anything. As long as you're just walking on it, it's
Yes.
harmless. If
Yep.
you were submerged, however,
Yes.
God save you from 19d10 damage.
Okay, and then once we're through the water, I can do the water walk again if you give us 10 minutes. Because it only lasts an hour, so.
All right.
Well, before we embark upon this journey on which we may die, some of us, not for the first time, I just want to say, you light of my life. And the song goes on and on and on for 10 minutes. It's an extended
So you have to
cut.
sing it 3 times?
No, it's an extended cut.
This is
She's
the
added
best
extra
part.
verses.
This is the best part. It's like Freebird.
Right here. That
Freebird!
And 16 temp hit points for
Hot.
everybody.
You all get 16 temp. The maximum hit points that you got from Alric that day are gone. He had cast aid at one point.
Yeah, he had.
one. Oh, that's. Am I doing my aid?
They
But
should
we've
reset
leveled up
if you...
since then, so it might.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it
I
cleared
couldn't remember when he
automatically.
had cast
Yeah.
it.
So I'm like, my hit points are higher than normal, but I'm pretty sure that's level 10.
Alrighty, so you guys make your way to Falcon Lock. Do you want to do it? Do you want to enter near the stone table, or do you want to do it a different way?
Well,
I leave that up to people who know this area better than I do.
is there any reason to go anywhere besides where the stone table is? I mean, that was where the hags used to do all their everything, right?
Yep.
Probably the most direct entrance.
That makes sense. That sounds like it's either right or a trap. So let's
Oh.
do it.
That's the other thing.
Won't be the first time we've
That's
walked into a
right.
trap.
That's right.
Certainly won't be the last.
It feels like it has been so long since we were last here.
Life's funny that way.
Yep. Circles upon circles.
So since we never actually showed it on stream,
It's a picture of Matt shirtless.
it's my tank.
No.
Yeah.
This is the exact way I had you guys
Yep.
set up for when you talked to Morgan. I never
Yeah.
showed it on stream.
Aw. That's cool. So, it's a lot more chipper than I thought it was gonna be.
It's all sunshine and rainbows
It's
and
Gilly's
Ghost in the Machine.
birthplace. Yeah.
Shine.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
and rainbows.
We're walking on sunshine. Whoa.
Never
How
make
can I
a
add that to
mistake.
inspiring speeches?
I need more power word kills. I really need my power word kills. So you guys approach the stone table of Falloglin Lock, having been 3 months or more since you had been here, when Gilly first made her deal in the Winter in the Night episodes. And you guys then moved on to kill Agnes, the Elder Hag of Falloglin Lock.
Murder.
As you step up,
Stop it.
you can see much like the scene here before you, but there's more mist. It's a more wintry, early winter theme about, not less green, more gray. And I'm assuming you're not all waiting in the bushes for no reason. Kinda. What do you
There's
do?
a perfectly good reason. We're afraid of the monster. Falloglin Lock. I guess I'll just sort of approach the table. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing either.
I'm gonna walk along the shore and take a look, see if I see any markings, anything like that. There might be
I put you in the
Oh,
water.
yeah.
You're dead.
You're
Go ahead and roll perception.
okay.
I would also be looking for druid markings, so I can either do that individually or I can do that with him.
I would say individually.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That
Oh,
will
I'm picturing this scene.
15.
15 perception for markings. Selena?
Oh, 17 plus 8 is 20. 25.
15, 25. So, as far as druid markings go, I would say that the druid markings speak to the holiness of this place, the sacred nature of the stone table, and it gives tips and tricks for talking and communing with the spirits and listening to them, vice versa. A lot of guidelines on these trees and on the stone table. Perception 15, you just see like the serene nature of Falloglin Lock. It's a very calm pond. Massive lake. What is this?
Probably lawnmower or something outside. We can close the window.
I think it's cool enough in here for a little bit. Yep, that is what you guys find through respective perception checks. I would say, Sylvius, with 15, you do see kind of these claw marks at the edge of the thing that kind of seem to go down.
Pulling into.
You're not sure. They definitely go down.
I take
Oh,
a step
boy.
back.
All right. Yeah.
It looks like there might be something in the water.
I'm gonna.
So I'm going to sit at the edge of that lake after seeing those druidic markings and thinking about the religion.
Did you not just hear what I
And-
said? I think there's something in the water.
Well, she can breathe in it at least.
Commune with nature. Commune with nature.
Ritual, commune with nature, commune with nature.
All right.
I think if you say it 3 times, they
Commune with
appear.
nature, commune with nature, commune with nature, eh?
Yeah. I've only
Nature
done
appears.
commune with nature as a barbarian, so this is different. Druids. So give you knowledge
you-
of the land within 3 miles.
You instantly gain knowledge up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area: terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, buildings.
Go with the last one.
I'm pretty sure we need to look for buildings here.
I'm absolutely
she-
not looking
She
for
cast it like 10 times and all 30 questions are buildings.
Yep.
She's like, how's the stormwater management? Is there an impervious area?
Are there any inefficient berms that could use some attention? I packed Move Earth today.
Okay.
Or Shape Earth or whatever the
Yeah.
hell that's
So,
called.
because I only get 3 of these, right? So
You have 3 questions, yep.
influence from other planes, power, celestial, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead.
I'm assuming you're going to say fae.
Oh, those are all
Or.
individual.
Yeah, or. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Christ.
Go Faye.
Okay, I'm gonna do fae
And Beast. That's my
and
vote.
then animals. So animals, fae, and planes of existence.
Gotcha, prevalent planes. Okay.
I'm waiting to see.
All right, so how would you like to phrase your question about influence from other planes of existence? What drama would you like to stir up?
Oh, Christ. So, when you say influence from other planes of existence, sorry guys, only done this like
Basically,
once.
how fucked up is the arresting light in this area? Because that's what defines planar power in this
I mean, that's a great way to phrase that question.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with that in DM.
I'm here to help sometimes. So nature will communicate back. Hey yo! No.
I pictured a bird landed. Hey yo!
The monster comes
Instantly
out of
getting
the
on.
lock.
Angriest of angriest raccoons drags itself out of this lake.
Oh,
No, it's
With
the
scratches
beast.
that
The
fall
beast
off.
of Pelican Lock raises its head out of the water. Hey yo! Hey yo, man!
You got 3
Oh hey, Selena.
Go be a fish.
All right. So you're at the edge of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Dangerously.
So what does happen is you see this kind of this like little bass or a tiny fish. I don't know fish. A carp. I really don't know fish.
Go with bass.
A bass,
Big mouth bass.
just kind of swims up and is like speaks to you. It is weaker here than many other places. The resting light is weaker here than many other places. This is the old gods keep this land, this lake. Second question is, I'd like to phrase it about the fae. Or the animals.
Okay, so this is it'll probably be a similar question for both animals and fae. This is probably a bad way to phrase it, but what fae and animal creatures will do harm to me and mine here?
The grand hags keep the lake. 3, and powerful, stern, and vengeful. They will not harm you, and this fish is just speaking plainly to you. They will not harm you if you enter in good trust and deal with them frankly. The beast of Falcon Lock will not lash out unless you harm his lake, their lake. That answers your questions.
Okay.
I was picturing the Billy Loudmouth bass. One time.
The wallfish.
Yeah.
Pretty
Did you
much.
pack animal friendship?
I did not. I did, however.
Beast of Fallon Glenlock is technically not a beast.
I figured it wasn't. But that doesn't mean there aren't other beasts in this block.
It's in a tropal.
I did pack Charm Monster
There you
in
go.
person.
There you go.
Shaw monster.
Alright.
So,
That shaman.
and did I pack that one? Yeah, I packed Polymorph just in case. Last ditch effort. Okay. So let's see. We can breathe. We can walk, and we already knew this, but this is a weak spot for the arresting light. We will find things that don't belong in the material plane here. And as long as we respect the boundaries of nature and do not harm the lake or immediately fight physically the hags, the three of them, we should be able to at least communicate before anything crazy happens. But if we ask nicely, this is an ask nicely and carry a big stick scenario.
I wonder if they may be able to help us. Do we know where they stand with Morgan? Or at least the Mab?
I think the better question is to ask how they feel about the passing of Agnes. Because if they're upset about Agnes, we can explain that we, were manipulated, basically.
Perhaps. Well,
Because it's not untrue.
I mean,
Had I had more information at the time, hadn't been blinded by my fear for my sister,
the nature of nature is all things past. Power changes.
I mean, we may have done them a favor too. So now they may have more powers.
Okay.
somehow...
I mean, it's a long shot. But
What do I know about hags and how they might react to another coven being
we're territorial.
Roll.
dispersed?
tag.
Roll. I will give you a choice between nature or religion.
I think I'll go with it doesn't matter because I'll go with nature, I guess.
If you asked out loud, I will give you guidance.
Cool. Go with nature. Hey! That's not bad. 22.
22. Nature?
Yep.
Yeah, what Selena said, all things pass. It's probably pretty close to accurate. I mean, it's a good way of putting it. Hags are long-lived, and they are nothing if not pragmatic. Be wary of the deals you make with them, but as far as how they feel about Agnes, I mean, you figure they're not too happy with Morgan. She betrayed one of her lowers that she was supposed to protect. One of the reasons the hags are so long-lived is because of their cleverness and because of the pacts they make with Elder Fae. Morgan did a really, really dirty thing in the terms of the old religion when she betrayed Agnes, who was the only person in this world, the one who summoned her and therefore the one who could get rid of her. And she did her dirty. On some level, the hags got to respect that, but on another level, they're probably angrier at Morgan than they would be at the foot soldiers who did it. Maybe that's why Glitch sent you here.
That would give us some leverage if you had expressed any of that to the group.
Yeah, of course.
Perhaps we could position this that we are trying to ensure that Morgan never returns.
As
Right,
well
that's
as
kind of what I'm
other
thinking.
allies.
So long as... Yeah. So long as we can establish that that's how we anticipate their reaction to be,
Understood.
then that's, I think, our best play.
I agree.
While sitting on the edge of the lake here, how clean does the lake look?
I mean, I don't know much about nature, but I imagine this being a very clean lake.
Okay. Since it was human-made, usually it's either very clear or very like full of algae and stuff.
Right,
That's
yeah.
how it's-
I would say it's cerulean.
Okay.
You know?
So
Just murky enough so that we can't see the kraken just under the surface.
Pretty much.
Cool.
I'm sure it's a kraken.
I'm going to tentatively, testing out the water walk, step onto the water.
Alright. So you walk on the water. You hear this kind of bloop, bloop, as you step lightly. Bloop, bloop. It's kind of a funny sensation.
I will walk under him in the water.
Oh,
Alright.
pretty cool.
Under him?
Yeah, so swimming in the water. So as he goes out, I will go through the water, because they
You're
said
swimming.
it technically wouldn't hurt me.
You said you're swimming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to find a nice heavy rock
Alright.
to weigh myself down with.
Alright.
So this is completely pointless. But
Great.
I'm going to do it
It's
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
never stopped you before.
Correct.
I'm not going to let it. I'm going to take one of those flat stones that I gathered as I'm standing out here, like on this like water bed, and I'm going to try to give it a.
Roll dexterity.
Do I have proficiency?
No.
No, it's
You've
saving.
never
Never
skipped
done
rocks
this
before.
before.
It's canon.
That's fine.
You
It's
told
just
me.
like the wreck.
Respect the lore, Chase.
Yeah.
19.
You fail. DC is 25. So you're like, this is not so different than throwing a shuriken.
Exactly.
And it, and it just goes out of sight.
And I'll turn to the group. I think you're still above water, underwater. Doesn't matter. I'm like, is this the trick?
You have
Good
to
job.
go. You have to go farther.
Oh, farther. You have to go farther. I'm like, I will try to do better next time. I'm new.
It's okay.
It comes back around.
Yeah,
There's a learning
Oh my
curve to
God,
everything. You'll get the hang of it one of these days.
I'll get it. Like I didn't do it right. Not knowing any better. That makes me so
Good
happy.
God.
And then I will timidly go into the disgusting murky water
Okay.
and just start walking in, like not on top, just
All right. Everyone's in or on the water. 3 of you are in. 1 of you's on. Thank you, Meepo, for subscribing. Surf 7 months in a row. Thank you. Yeah. So you guys are in the lake now, and you're on top. Who would like to helm the find the entrance to the hag burrow check?
Are you doing survival?
Survival.
Perception?
I will say, actually, let's make it a skill challenge. I will say perception, investigation, nature, arcana.
All I do is an investigation.
You're
Are
gonna
your-
do on investigation.
It's a skill challenge. No one can repeat the same skill.
Ah,
Got it.
And you need X amount of successes before Y failures.
Can I see if somehow my fey nature, my presence, draws me anywhere, or anything happens in any areas, responds to me in any way?
Sure. Go ahead and roll charisma.
Okay.
Did you say Arcana was one of them too?
It is one of them.
Okay, so you can. I'll do Arcana.
So no one, and so for the way skill challenges actually work is no one can aid anyone. It's all your own
Ah,
rolls. Yeah.
that's perfect.
This is a general charisma check.
General charisma
Jack
check.
of all trades.
Yep. It's an ability check. Yep.
Which means efficiency bonus is 4 now. Okay, cool.
So it's +8.
So 19.
Okay, so you descend into the Falgun Loch, which in some ways connected to your birth and creation, and much of what has plagued you these past few months with everything that transpired. I still need to rework my playlist. And you... I'll just restart it. You do feel a connection. You feel a connection to the stone table, but you also feel this kind of strange energy. Almost kind of, you kind of bring yourself, you guys swim for a little good while, you guys are traversing, and you kind of end up in this really broad area, kind of near the center of the lake. And you find a very good general area. Who would like to do the second skill check?
I'll do Arcana.
Arcana,
So I will reach out with my hands and try to feel like the currents of magical energy.
Roll Arcana. So as Gilly begins describing this to you,
18.
you hone in. Gilly, what do you tell Sevilius?
Just, I kind of feel drawn over here. I feel like there's something to this general area, but I can't get any more of a pinpoint.
So I walk over there and I clear my mind and almost go into a meditative state. Just feel around me.
You can kind of feel the wind pick up just a little bit, and there's like a, and it, dong, almost like Doppler. Dong, dong.
So I'll just point in that direction.
All right, that's 2 successes.
We head over there then.
I will attempt an investigation check then as we start.
Roll investigate.
That is a 14.
Okay, so you start to swim down, and you are having trouble. So as you get lower, you guys assume it's at the bottom of the lake, correctly so. And as you get lower, it seems to be this kind of thick underbrush of seaweed and not kelp, but seaweed basically. A lot of moss and patches and these kind of weird, almost mushroom-looking things at the bottom. And it seems to stretch on in this kind of long strip for quite some time. And it just sits there at the bottom of the lake, and you kind of are finding it difficult to kind of see. And you feel around, you can feel this kind of rocky surface at the bottom of this kelp and seaweed. And you just feel around, but you're not finding anything better.
This is probably one I don't want, but I would use, so between the religious writings that I saw in Druidic and the idea that the talking fish, Mr. Limpet, what's the talking fish?
Mr. Limpet, I think, yeah.
Mr.
Billy
Limpet?
Bass.
Yeah, he's a
Billy
talking
Bass.
but told us that as long as we respected the area, I would druid craft as I was walking, kind of continuously adding bubbles for extra oxygen and adding like pockets of bubbles as we're walking, and then encouraging, I hate seaweed, but encouraging like plant life to grow and things to flourish as we walk through.
Alrighty, so you'd like to roll nature? Or...
Yeah, that's probably where we're at.
Okay.
No good at nature, but we'll do this.
Better nature.
Oh, that's not terrible. I'll take that. Okay, so 18 plus 2 is 20.
Perfect. Yeah. So you are able to kind of, and as you keep letting out bubbles, you can kind of feel them start to go around you. And there's this kind of weird fizz at your back that makes you kind of step forward as you guys are in this general vicinity down at the bottom of the lock. And you kind of step forward and your toe hits something.
I think I found it. And I will reach down to whatever it is the thing that I hit with my toe and touch it.
Seems to be some kind of strange circular disc, stone, kind of built into the ground. Has all sorts of arcane markings and writings.
Can I read them?
Sylvan.
Yeah.
I do.
What do they?
So
What do
1,
they
2 people can
Yeah.
read it. It is mostly arcane writ. The Sylvan that does says the power of 3 keep it. The power of 3 made it. The power of 3. The power of 3 keep it. The power of 3 made it. The power of 3 shall destroy it.
So, an episode of Charmed. Gotcha. Okay. Power of 3. The hags.
Obviously.
Do I see any way to open it?
I mean, if this is a door to their home, why don't we just know?
I'd like to
That
try
would be the
message.
kind thing to do.
Who are you targeting?
Directing past the stone, I guess.
Okay.
And targeting any hag that will hear me.
Piper. The hag's name is Piper.
No. Is Prue still alive in this one?
Who are you envisioning whenever you cast message?
Oh man. Just, I guess, whatever older, powerful hag that I can envision from, like, whatever, my Hag 101.
Okay, folklore.
Yeah.
and the Hag 101 class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll intelligence, just straight intelligence.
Yeah, fun. Natural 20.
Minus.
No,
minus.
It's actually +2 for Jack of all trades.
Correct. So 22. So you cast it, and you feel it kind of squirm around a little bit, like it's like a worm trying to find it. And it goes, thump, disappears into the ground.
And I
What do you
said,
say?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I said, hello. I respectfully request, just an audience. My name is Gilly, and just here to talk to you, lovely, powerful ladies. Please, if you're not too busy, thanks.
Okay. So you hear a reply. Message actually doesn't have a.
It doesn't, yeah. No.
It's limited by time.
Yeah.
It is.
Now that we know this, we're gonna talk as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So I would say you hear. And then it kind of rewinds.
Oh my.
Come in. We've been waiting for your arrival, lady. And you see the thing go. And stairs form out of the circle. They spiral on down. And you can see there's a rush of water. And then it just kind of hovers. You can see this kind of weird vibrating force.
I really wish somebody
We'll go to
did
the
night
bathroom.
shift. In case we needed to get out of here.
Oh, I'm sure this will be fun.
Sure.
They're just kind
Just
old
fine.
ladies that
Yep.
we murdered their
That's-
friends.
Yeah, let's not go down the road of thought. Okay.
I will gesture for you guys to lead the way, or civilians, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. I guess I'll start headed down the stairs.
First, but
Well, yeah, go
if
first.
you don't mind.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Not at all.
So I would be the last, and when he gets back, I will check the lake around us just to see what's coming to see.
We'll wait for Matt to return.
I
So,
think I'm
while
gonna
we
cast enhance ability on
wait
myself.
for Matt, we can talk about Animal Helper. They are our friends down in New Orleans, Louisiana. They are an animal rescue service that takes care of special needs animals. And by special needs ones that need specific amount of care. They are a 501c3 nonprofit. There are ways that you can support them. One way that you can support them is by signing up on Amazon Smile and setting them as your charity of choice. It's very easy. They're based out of Louisiana, New Orleans. Animal Helper. Anytime you buy something through Amazon, it would passively pay them. So
It's free to set up, free to use Amazon Smile.
It's a huge source of benefit and revenue for the charity, and helps a lot of our animals. Pays a lot of bills when people do it. So get to it.
Enhance ability charisma.
Yes.
Gilly went first, doing things. I went last, doing things.
I went second.
Okay.
I'm in the middle. I'm a meat sandwich.
All right.
So before going down, I would have cast a weather eye around the lake and this, seeing what followed us, specifically looking for big kraken dinosaur monster things.
All right. Roll perception.
Oh, I like this
15.
It's very lanky.
15.
15.
All looks well.
Oh, no. Okay.
You guys pass through this kind of force barrier, and I should have had this up. Oops, that's okay. You guys pass through this force barrier, one by one, down into this very long corkscrew kind of a stairwell. As you descend further, probably 60 feet or so, it gets quieter, more subdued. What is this?
That was me.
Oh, I thought the music cut out for it.
No.
No, one of us buzzed.
your feet echo more and more as you walk into this very still and quiet antechamber. It is very what would appear to be roughly hewn stone, but mostly dirt in a kind of cave-like structure with roots sticking out. And you guys stand before this very ornate-looking door. Not ornate, old and solid-looking door. You are in a kind of foyer of sorts. It's large enough to accompany probably 2 good-sized adult dragons.
Wow.
It's a pretty big chamber.
Have we seen a Naka, a doorbell, anything around?
Roll perception.
And what does the door look like?
22.
22. The door appears to be a chiseled mural of sculpture of a tree. At the base of this tree sits the face of someone who appears to be half feminine, half masculine. And from that tree, as they form the base and the trunk of that tree, the branches extend out to many different life forms. You see animals, half animals, fays, and kind of towards the top, you see feminine figures who are older, decrepit, but all through it shows the stages of life and birth and rebirth in the creatures. It seems to be some kind of fey, old religion symbology. 22. What you do notice is that although there is a great deal of moss covering it, there seems to be a kind of teleportation circle just beneath you.
Interesting. I will pull out my book and start sketching that.
Takes a minute. So you do a quick rough sketch of the teleportation circle. Put Greensboro teleportation circle. Greensboro antechamber.
Okay. This is my first one, so I gotta find a place on my.
Well, you had. Oh, did you know? Did you want to know what 2 did you want? Because
I
you get
get to
2
pick
for
2?
free. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm assuming your mansion,
Yes.
and then you get 1 free one. You can be.
I'll have to think about
Okay,
that.
think
We'll
about
talk
it.
later.
Yeah, it's all right. And that is what you guys see. A knocker. Yeah, sure. Let's say there are 2 knockers on either side of the door. It's a pretty big door.
What knockers?
Contain yourselves.
We're adults.
As long as they don't start talking, we're good.
Can't hear you. It's the labyrinth. Fucking turns into it.
All right, mumble face.
I don't have the energy for it. Otherwise, I might.
My gosh.
Another time, another door, another knocker, Matt.
Yeah. All the knockers. So what are you doing? What are y'all doing?
Nowhere.
I'll just kind of remain on alert, vigilant as they do their investigations and
The
whatnot.
door attacks you.
Right. The door is.
When you're done, I'm going to knock.
Oh, so,
That's okay.
ready?
Okay.
All
1,
right.
2, 3.
What?
Yeah, 3 knocks because
Yeah.
there's 3. It's the power of 3. I don't know. I'm knocking in 3s.
Roll acrobatics, both of you, to see how well you time your.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Can I use your hands
I had a 17.
20.
All right, you 3 beats off. No. So you guys. And there's a kind of a quick. And then you see it goes back.
Oh, actually, that was a 23. My bad.
And
Anyway.
it opens. Just to fit, just enough to fit 1 person through at a time.
I'll go first.
After you.
Okay, you enter in.
Yeah.
Who goes second?
I will.
Who goes third?
Oh.
And there's nothing behind us?
Nothing behind you.
Okay. Knock the through.
We come to bargain.
As you enter in, it shuts behind you.
To parlay.
The room before you is an even larger cave-like structure with even more fallen-in ruins. You can see what used to be kind of doorways fallen in, statues, dilapidated, fallen over, overall destruction, dismay, and decay around you. There are a number of figures in the room. In this kind of hallway. There are bugbears, about 7 of them, that are standing, and they wear hide armor, some of them dark leathers, and they all seem to be very well equipped. There's one in the center and then 3 on either side of him. Over them. And they speak. State your business.
We're here to speak with the 3.
Which 3? Them 3? Or these 3?
With the 3 hags that keep this entrance.
Mm-hmm.
The Grand Hags.
Oh, the Grand Hags.
Yeah.
Those 3. A lot of hags in here.
Sure, that makes sense.
Is the hag better?
Mind your business. He steps aside and he bids you entrance into the door behind him.
Thank you.
Side note,
Curious note.
while we were in the antechamber, if it had been a full hour, I would have water walked us again.
It wasn't an hour. It
Okay.
wasn't even close now.
Perfect.
You guys pass through the main hallway. You can see kind of different intersecting, smaller, branching pathways and caves and rooms and things like that as you enter through this thing. You go through another antechamber and a waiting room where you guys wait for a few minutes, and then you enter into what you imagine is a kind of throne room. This smaller, comparably so, cave has a number of creatures in it of varying types. You see more one or two more bugbears, who one of them is kind of decrepit and stands over and has all this kind of wild, almost porcupine-like fur that is discolored and mottled, that flies off of their body, just extends in every direction. You can see the gray cloak that extends over her body is poofed out by her porcupine-like fur, and then a more larger strapping bugbear stands next to him. You see a couple of minor fairies and pixie-like figures that seem to be fluttering around. And whenever you look closer and you go, ah, one of them stops and its razor-sharp teeth appear and it flutters away.
Oh, that's...
Well, you need a good bite when you're that small.
Oh my god.
Very true.
You do. Gotta defend yourself somehow. People are always trying to capture pixies.
Is that a tooth fairy?
I mean, maybe. Aren't they? Don't they all have teeth though?
I do not know anything about fairies.
You see a creature that appears to be made out of solid rock that stands almost 13 feet tall and kind of uses its hands to rest its body in form. Its lower body
like
being
good, strong hands.
the very good strong hands, and its eyes are these kind of circling. Where normal eyes would be, there is just a vacuous void, and there's these kind of circling, sparkling red eyes.
How similar does that look to?
To Glitch's form?
Yeah.
Very similar.
There's like that wrench in my stomach when I see that. Fuck.
There are other various fey beings around. There are even a number of hags. You see green hags, you see blue hags, you see different kinds. And on the throne, the 3 thrones, one made of iron, one made of iron, one made of a kind of what would it be? It would be a blackened obsidian, an obsidian dragon glass. And at the center, a beautiful crystal white throne that, as the light hits it, what very little light sits in this room, appears to be entirely made of starlight. Whenever the light hits it, you see the crystal kind of solid-like figures disperse. And just for a brief moment, it's as if she's sitting on a chair of stars. The 3 figures that sit on these thrones are much like the thrones which I described. One is a woman who seems to be made of metal. She has a stern, kind of broad feature, and she is short, probably no more than 5 feet tall. Her shoulders are broad, her jaw is square, and she wears a crown of iron. The woman on the obsidian throne has this kind of fiery presence to her. She is old, she is twisted and crooked in many ways, and she has interconnecting She has an interconnecting hair of these kind of thick braids that kind of go up and tie up in like an African beehive, you might say. The central figure, sitting on the throne of starlight and crystal white, is a woman of great presence. She has pale white skin that almost matches her throne. She wears a kind of marble and diamond white dress that is made out of various pieces of rock and stone and jewelry. She has a crystal white oak staff that just stands suspended next to her. And she has a number of jewelries and accoutrement and a medallion which has an eye on it that moves. Not with a kind of liquidity or fleshy celerity, but with a kind of purposeful, almost lawful, and direct and mechanical means. Precise. You can almost hear it move. They peer down at you. The Grand Hag speaks on the crystal throne. Why have you come here? And who are you?
From everything that I know about your kind, it's quite likely you already know the answers to those questions. But if you'd like, I shall answer them anyway. My name is Gilly. This is Sibelius, Justice, and Selena. And we're here because we were done wrong by Morgan in the same way that Agnes and I remember their names, Grelda and Brunhilde were.
When you speak the three names, you hear Grelda, Brunhilde, Agnes. The rest of your names?
I said them all.
Yes.
The rest of your names?
I'm Justice.
Selena.
Sibelius Anastasia. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You see her look around. And you wish to make it right. Is that it?
Well, I don't know if that can be done or how. But I know that it's only a matter of time before Morgan is at it again. And it's likely that, in some of our lifetimes we won't have to deal with that. But that doesn't mean that somebody else won't. And some of us won't, and some of you won't.
The Iron Hag speaks up. Then it ends and it plays back.
Amazing.
Who is this child? This young fae? This young lady to ask anything of us? What good tidings does she bear? What gifts does she bring to the oldest court?
What would I have known about gifts to be brought to? Okay.
Common courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't expect any you savages to understand.
Okay.
I'll make eye contact with you, and then I'll make a.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks. Put that together. What would I know? What would I gather that hags might?
It's a violin motion.
Oh!
The smallest violin.
I thought that was a
Yeah.
payment motion.
No. I'm saying a gift of music.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
This did not say
The world's
violin to
smallest
me.
violin,
This
sorry.
said money.
Sorry.
What would I know that hags might appreciate and value?
Would earth from other lands be valuable to people who worship the earth?
Yeah, but looking at these ladies, you gather they're all from somewhere else, actually. And then one of them is an iron hag, the other reminds you of Korkoth, and the other reminds you of Athadia.
Yep.
Ain't none of these hags from Gish.
Right.
Then maybe dirt of their home. Didn't I buy a Draskan rock and an Athadian rock?
You did? You try?
It wasn't an Athadian rock. It was a Cordunian rock. I don't know if I'm saying that
I
right.
believe it was Dalmarian or Athadian. It was Dalmarian because it was near Moltown.
Because it was the coal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was coal, and then there was the marble. So Athadian Dalmaria.
Also speak well if she. Well, they're
I'm
kinda
still waiting
looking-
for my answer to my question.
He didn't.
Oh, let me answer 3 questions at once. What is this?
Never mind.
Also, we come bearing tidings of news with the death of Morgan at our hand. One who has wronged your people.
And the peace of mind to change this. To make it so that she doesn't come back.
The Korkothian hag speaks. When she speaks, it's kind of like roaring flames. Comes spilling out of her mouth. It kind of paints the air. Do you claim to be the ones who killed Morgan?
I'm the
With
one.
help?
I struck the killing blow.
Fire flies away. You went from serving Morgan to slaughtering her. Is that my understanding?
She went from a deal with Agnes to enabling her to be slaughtered.
She did.
And it was not without great consideration and great effort to sway her on my part.
Great consideration, great effort to sway. Oh, that's the wrong map. My blob map. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Historians will look at it like they looked at the Mona Lisa.
The Iron Hag speaks. Do you claim to have done this on our behalf?
I don't claim to know whether or not it would be in your best. No, I don't claim to know whether or not you would appreciate it or be upset by it. Our actions were for a variety of reasons, but mostly because of the great loss that the world would suffer.
We did it for the benefit of all.
All cannot fit in this cave.
But you are included in the all, nonetheless.
Insight is to like, are they trying to? I'm just trying to see if they're trying to give us like a hint, like, yeah, say that you did it in our name, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Roll insight.
Why can it never roll well?
Because knowing people is your best skill.
Yeah.
I know.
And you say it every time.
Well, you like roll nat 20 when you get like a +0 or +2. That insight was, I'm looking for the eyes. Where are you? Thank you. 8.
hard to read. They are enigmatic, and they seem to be engaging in a most unusual negotiation tactic, as ancient hags are wont to do.
If no one else speaks up. You speak of gifts. You travel far to be here. Do you not?
Yes.
I believe we have pieces of at least 2 of your homelands. And intentions to travel within our lifetime to all of those places. And could do small favors in those travels.
And in return, you would ask for a small favor?
It depends on favors given, favors received, and what we're all going to do with the fate of the world.
We cannot for the fate of the world. We've outlasted many apocalypses, many plagues, many destructions.
Then you know it's coming.
We have felt it. You can hear kind of muttering around the room. We have read it in the oldest stones. We have cast bones. We have read it in the secrets of death. Apocalypse comes, end of your world, the beginning of worlds for others.
The void will not leave anything left.
She turns. She says, She doesn't stand up. But she sits up. What do you know of the void, Sevelius?
We've been around it somewhat. It drove my people from their land. We consumed it.
It did.
Do you think it will not do that here too? Once it breaches the barrier?
I say again, have you brought me any gifts?
So, what would Gilly know about folklore and what hags tend to value? What do I think that these hags might value?
They value memories, items that have power over people, more so than just raw power, sentiment, stories, very good ones, especially for the older the hag, the better the story has to be. They value blood, sweat, hair, and flesh.
Yeah, fuck it. I pull out the gentle reposed body from the bag of holding of one of those assassins that killed Justice.
Didn't we feed those all to a door?
Not
Fed
all,
one.
Just a couple of them.
not all of them. She had her body count and everything. So, okay, go ahead. So you it kind of flies out of the bag because you know you can't carry it, so you just kind of summon it to your hand and pull it out.
Yep.
You see the assassin's body in this kind of white glow, and it rocks back and forth. The hags sit up, and you see the astral hag.
He dealt in death.
Two more. It's a good first gift.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to. I'll pull out my violin, and I'm going to try to tell a story about our trip to the void when we broke the chains of Urstar, right?
Eurysadril.
Eurysadril, yeah.
Wow.
Roll performance.
I can assist with an interpretive dance as well to like, show the action
Hang
or
on.
whatever.
Get up and do it, please.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Roll with advantage. He's
The camera
assistant.
can't handle it. I block the camera. It's not feasible.
We're workshopping it.
Yeah.
We're
Your
workshopping
blush is adorable.
Rob Zatello's interpretive dance as Sevelius Anastasia. Tune in. What's good for you? Thursdays, Sundays?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, put it like a really high tier on
Right.
Civilius
The
now?
$700 tier.
$700.
That is a 23 on the performance check with my violin.
Alright, so you.
But I'm gonna basically try it in a very like boisterous way, like a very epic way of describing our visit to the void
Alright.
and our freeing of a god, or
Alright.
breaking the chains of God.
Alright. Good story. Yeah. Hag says.
Cool stroke, bro.
One more.
All I've got is rocks, man.
If you really genuinely think these people are interested in rocks from their homeland,
I mean, who isn't
get the sense
interested
that-
in rocks?
you do get the sense these hags are probably. They don't stay here all the time.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We got lucky.
Item of sentimental value.
The Korkothian hag will speak.
Go ahead.
She'll speak in flames.
You tell a good story. You gift us with death. But I am wondering where your true desires lie.
Are you still attuned to that spell, Ring of Spellstorm?
Yep.
Chase is not picking up on what she means, but where your true desires lie. Is that?
You guys have come here for a reason. You told them why you've come here. But beyond the reasons of why we do things is our desires. The core desires of why we want to accomplish things. Because you want to feel safe. You don't want these things to keep happening. You want things to be balanced. You don't want to live in a world where apocalypses come and people steal your friends. That's what interests hags. Real desire.
I'll say my primary directive is the freedom and well-being of my people, the Warforged.
You see kind of fire curl around her.
That is the desires of others. That you wish you live your life to do things for others.
She slashes at the air.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Kind of slashes at you a little bit and gets up from her throne.
Oh shit! Pissing her off.
You can see she kind of stands, and as she stands up, she's a good 8.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand unflinchingly. So-
I
Hobbles over, and descends down from the throne. What are you doing?
I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. And I'm tired of being manipulated. And I'm tired of losing people. I don't want that to end.
We've given you gift of song. We've given you gift of death. I'm going to pull out the staff of lesser healing and lay it forward. I can only offer what I've stolen from others. What I have is of no value. And lay that down.
And you see the hag, the star hag, the astral hag stand up. And the iron hag stand up as well. Iron hag is squat, 4 feet tall, maybe. 4 or 5 feet, 5 feet tall.
you lost a foot.
Yeah.
3 feet tall.
They eye it. The astral hag descends graciously. You stole this from others.
It was eventually given with permission, but initially, yes. And it's a gift of healing. It's a trifecta.
See the Iron Hag waddle over. They all give a quick sniff and a look. The Astral Hag stands up. That'll do. Keep your staff. She, with a wave of her hand, it flies back over to you. It occurs to me that we did not introduce ourselves. I am Astra, the Grand Hag of the Starlight Throne. The Iron Hag speaks up. Yeah. Spells back. Nothing quite like a pregnant pause.
7 puppies.
My name is Baba.
Grand Hag of the Iron Summit. The Fire and Korkothian Hag speaks.
I am Mabel. Great and terrible boo of the Korkothian Plains. Grand Hag of the Dragonfire Throne.
These are sweet titles.
Thank you. For over millennia and more, we 3 Grand Hags have maintained order of the old religion. It's part of a grand bargain between I and my goddess. We have acted as a kind of great police. Tell me, who do you imagine my god is?
Would I know being a druid?
I would have said Mab until I saw that tree. With the. Did I recognize that when we entered?
You recognize that as a pretty, fairly common symbol of, like, it's basically Oberon and Mab.
Okay. And Oberon would have been the summer equivalent.
Yep.
Well, there's Oberon, and then there's the other
Titania.
one.
But Titania is a lesser deity, and Oberon and Mab are greater.
Would it be Mab and Oberon?
Time was, I did walk in the old ways. I did represent a piece of the old religion. But then the Divine Revolution came. And I made a bargain to maintain the sliver of the old religion that remained. My goddess is Marissa.
Actually makes a lot of sense.
How else do the old powers and the Fae still walk this plane when all demons and devils were banished and kept out? It was a grand bargain.
Ha, good pun.
So,
It was a really good pun.
Gilly Hagsbane.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good title. I'm writing it down.
It's her title.
Yes.
Oh no.
Lady of the Mountain Mists. Break it down for me. Break it down. What would you ask of us?
From what I understand, Agnes had the ability to dismiss Morgan from this plane.
Yes.
And because of that vulnerability, Morgan turned on her, manipulated us.
She did.
Morgan can still come back.
It still gives me chills when I think about it.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah.
Was that Astra saying it? Was that the DM? No one will ever know.
I think we all know.
Are they different? I can't tell the difference.
It was clearly the Astra part of Matt. Shit, I lost my train of thought after that. She asked me to break it down for her.
Yep.
What we want. Okay. Agnes knew, from what I can gather, of the... What were they called? The first rites?
The first rites, yeah. Yep.
And we came here looking for information about them and the possibility of enacting them.
So you need to speak to Agnes.
We either need to speak with Agnes, or if you know of the same rights.
No. Agnes kept her position the way that she did, made her deals the way that she did, because she was exceedingly resourceful. Those first rites gave her power over all hags. We grand hags hid away from her for a very long time. It's only now that we can reclaim our position.
You're the worst person.
Piece of shit, man.
You are the worst person.
Don't believe his lies.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Had we done the opposite, it would have been the same thing. Matt just would have found other ways to say that you did all of this.
I mean,
Yeah,
it would have
come
been
on.
It would have been
It
different.
would have been different, but it would have been the same. Like,
She still would have had the first rites.
I mean, it would have been different people telling us.
It's
All
all
this
good.
happened because of you.
I'm sure
Yeah,
we
of
have
course,
world.
yeah.
We have
That's my
impact
If
on
you
the
killed
world, but-
Morgan back then, yeah,
Right.
it would just be different things.
Yeah,
happening.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's my
'cause
point.
That's how that's life. That's how stories
That's how
work.
this
Yep.
shit works.
That's how stories work.
You changed nothing.
Yeah.
You affected
Right.
nothing.
So our choices don't matter.
No, your choices do matter.
That was
Yeah,
that's
it's a
the
joke.
joke.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
it's a
joke.
We're like Matt Railroad.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
like-
was saying no. Morgan would have
Yeah.
been a radically different story.
Correct.
We're playing around.
Just making jokes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So she'll say, circling back, she'll say, so the first rites, you still need to talk to Agnes. She's dead. But you used to run with one who had power over death and could help you. But I don't see him.
Are you able to see him elsewhere?
I haven't looked for him. I don't have him in my pocket.
Are you familiar with the Great Unknown? Well, that was her name, right?
Ancient and
The
unknown.
Ancient and Unknown.
When you speak that word, there's like kind of a... You hear
Like a visceral negative reaction?
from around the room.
I think I might know about that.
We're familiar.
Well, that's more than we were 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago. In her human form, you may already know, she's known as Duplicron.
Didn't know she had a human form. Didn't know it was Duplicroy.
And she has apparently had her hooks in my family. So has it out at me and mine. And has taken Glitch. And holds him somewhere. And he is being tormented. And I can't do anything about it. Not yet. But he had the idea, and he told me that with Selena's help, we could speak with her. The combination of speaking with the dead and speaking through dreams could get in touch with her. And he told me about Green Pearl.
You
this. We can grant you means. We can do this. Fire slashes over the air.
But in return,
Yeah.
we will need something. You look stricken, Hagsbane. And each of you, have proven that you will not honor pacts. As you are a pact breaker. So let's dispel of any notion that you can be trusted. Words will not do. Actions will not do. Only knowledge.
You can see the astral hag has taken a step back.
So, we will help you find Glish Hananakis. And once that is over, should we see of you again? Should you step foot here again? You will fight a war on 2 fronts. With the void and the hell below, and nature itself.
I believe that would be 3 fronts.
Yeah, it would be.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Forgot about the void.
I was gonna say it.
So easy to
For a
forget
second, I
about
thought that they meant that they were the ones keeping the void at bay.
No.
And I was like,
I was like,
this
oh,
is
no, that's
news.
3 fronts.
It's 3 fronts, yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
Understood.
Clearly.
Player question: do any of them have ceremony?
Ceremony.
The spell ceremony.
Any of who?
The hags.
You'd have to ask them.
Okay.
You do not honor your deals. You break your backs. We have nothing. Nothing to guarantee you. Do this. And then may we never look upon your forms again.
Is the only one that hasn't broken a pact. If you have, I've seen it done before. If you have a spell that binds us, you can be sure of at least one of us.
No spells. No bindings. No pacts, no deals. A simple understanding.
That understanding is fine with me.
So I agree.
I fear we will see each other again. Maybe not here, but we will see each other again.
Perhaps beyond the gate of the arresting light. And in the lands of the dead.
Hopefully then we'll be on good terms.
As all things must go.
I obviously can't sit here and make any sort of promises that I have no idea whether or not I can or can't keep. But I regret how things ended up needing to happen. And as I said before, primarily through manipulation. I was put in a position and I can only hope to learn and to grow and to do better. I don't know if I'll ever earn your trust, and I don't know if you'll ever earn mine. But should that be possible, I hope that we can find a way.
See, Astra look over to Mabel. Mabel, in her long and 8-foot-tall form, kind of steps away. Astra steps forward. So, you have tried reaching Mr. Nahakis through the world of dreams.
Yes.
As is the world of dreams, so is the world of nightmares.
That I've learned all too well.
And it is protected by the King of Nightmares and his court. I imagine mundane or mystical forms of transportation. Common mystical forms of transportation won't help you very much either. Wherever she's put Mr. Nahakis, he's reachable. He's on this plane of existence. So, common forms of magical transportation will do you no good. They'll be warded.
Justice, do you have your map?
I do.
I will pull out the compass. And if... Because don't we
We
believe?
suspected someplace near Regret. Nathalia.
I point to Regret, and then I'll set the compass on the map right next to it.
She starts to slide it around, yeah?
Might I ask, are we still on the prime material plane?
Of course.
Okay.
Close enough to it, anyway. And she starts to move the compass around. I imagine it's one of those zoomy, the magnifying glass kind of looking things, right? Like a...
No, this is the silver compass.
Oh, the silver compass.
This
Okay,
is the
yeah.
silver compass that
Alright, so her parents, yeah.
La Family, yeah.
So you see, actually, she doesn't touch it because it's silver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
So you see with her fingers, she just kind of moves it around telekinetically.
Nice.
Kind of scoots it away off the map and uses it more of a paperweight. She pulls out a void diamond.
Motherfuck.
Who wants to be the one to use it?
What skill would be best? We all have complementary skills.
What do you mean by use it?
Magic's not going to do the trick. Not mundane magic, anyway. Common magic. I keep saying mundane. Common magic. But you might surprise her, and the void diamond floats up. If you get close enough, taking your little legs as far as they'll carry you. Spins it around, and this light starts to shine off of it. If you get just outside of her door, she's not looking, or she least expects it. Floats out in the middle of the four of you. Create your own opening. You've seen it done before in Cragmandu. The void has its uses. The void diamond just continues to float.
I'll reach out and grab it.
Oh god. What would that...
Hold on, 1 second. Hold it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And as you hold on, grab on it, there's this kind of...
Oh, no.
Sovelius.
excuse me.
Sovelius.
So we've been through this before. And I'll stick it in my pouch.
Dupla LaCroix, this ancient and unknown... Oh, you had a question. Sorry, go ahead.
What happens with that void creature after it is unleashed?
The one in...
When we saw it in Cragmandu, thousands disappeared, presumed dead,
Yes.
and it took off towards Droska.
Yes.
What? That was destruction of one, and who knows what else it's doing.
Yeah.
We certainly don't. You're telling us to unleash another of those things into the world. Into Athadia. And who knows where it'll go after that.
You see your step back.
Unless you can teach us a way to control it. Without that.
There are contingencies. There are plans for when the void enters the material plane. Right? Have you ever heard of the Great Machine?
Indeed, we have.
Vaguely, yes.
And because the zip dagger's part of it, right? Or-
What do you know of it?
We know... I think we knew, right? Remind me if this isn't character knowledge. But we
It's been
knew
very
that there were creation myths, especially in Droska.
Yes.
And the, sort of their, not... Some creation myths involve the Great Machine.
Yes. It surrounds the creation myths. Yep.
Okay.
As the story goes, when the giant gods of Droska, because all of Droska, well, not all, but a portion of the popular mythos from Droska have giant gods and stuff like that, created the world, they left behind means of understanding the notion of creation, and these were the machines, the great machines. The great machine, and from it all logic, law, and rules in society forms, and it's where the iron laws are thought to get their power.
Okay.
It makes it to where even if the void gets through, in popular notion, the great machine absorbs it, regulates it, protects the prime material plane from even incursions of the void.
Mm.
So the story that he told would have included the void creature that had the machine integration.
The story that he told would have included... No, that was new. That was never...
The story that Justice told to the hags
When we're
about
silent,
freeing...
when we're
Oh,
reviewing
yeah. I didn't... I was thinking of the old state. Yeah, the processor. Sure. Okay.
I don't know if that is.
So if that would have been like news to them, then that...
No, I imagine it was, yeah.
Okay.
So, you need to be taught how to harness the void, since you care so deeply of the destruction of a mythical town.
And whatever destruction it might cause thereafter.
It is entirely your choice, Miss O'Shea, Lady of the Mountain and the Mists.
It's my choice what it does. It's our choice what it does.
It's your choice if you wish to merely unleash the void or harness its power.
If we harness it, it will hopefully teach us a way of stopping it in the future, potentially.
You can at least limit its path of destruction. Focus it.
I, for one, would be interested in learning this power.
The Droskin hag speaks up.
Mean void smith.
who remains. Speak to Hunfursar, the Voidsmith, near the western coast of Droska, in Nighttown.
Of course. This is not the first that we have heard of.
Can you say the name again?
It's harder to. It's easier for me to picture. Her Frinsgar. Or whole Frinsgar, depending on how
In what town in Droska?
you. Nighttown.
Nighttown.
One of those waypoint markers off in the horizon. One of those side quests that you don't get to yet.
It's quickly coming into vision.
We have to do that now.
No, that was gonna say it's been on my on my horizon side.
Clearing
quest.
out the quest log.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just, like,
Just
there
keep,
we are.
keep going to this main plot stuff, like getting
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
main
yeah.
storyline.
Mind flare, just push that off to line.
Yeah. I've been meaning to speak with Hoodsvergar, though I never had the means to travel to Night Town. But if that is our path forward, then perhaps we can kill two birds with one stone.
The Iron Hag. You see a nice, tied up with a bow and sealed with red tape documents. These will give you entry into the Iron Republic. She hands them to you.
Oh my god.
I'll put them in the pouch.
I trust you know of the Iron Laws. Your magic will not work the same.
I mean, maybe a good refresher might be in order.
You cannot cast a spell higher than second level while in Droska.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
yeah. I'm giving you a refresher. You cannot cast a spell of higher than second level while in Droska. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Every time you cast a spell, it is traced to the Iron Authority and tracked. A spell of any level. Forms of magic which block out scrying, sensors, etc., etc., etc. Except those of which performed in personal property do not work. So if you cast a tiny hut and hope that'll prevent scrying, it doesn't work.
Unless it's on, like, your property.
Yep.
Who's got property in Droska?
Like, this is my alter ego, and I have like a Russian one. It's
You mean Droskin.
it's just Gideon again, but
but horribly
Gideon Shulgros.
yes. Yeah.
Good lord. Babushka shotguns.
They call him Baba Yaga.
Babushka, yeah.
So, I will put the documents in a pouch.
Believe that's all I can offer you. I hear Messinia and or Cragmandu are lovely this time of year.
So, do I understand properly that you both know of the ancient unknown and are not on good terms with her?
Correct.
Then it seems we have a common enemy.
We have more than one common enemy, I show you.
Right. Well, as I said before, maybe there would be a path forward.
There's a slash of fire towards your face. You cannot be trusted. She has a point.
Player question.
Hmm.
Did I didn't break my pact. Did I? It was written into the wording that we could end it at any time, and then she chose to end it when I wasn't
Yeah,
going to do it.
they're not talking about Mrs. Kilgannis. They're talking about the Archfey that you guys all collectively murdered.
I never had a pact with Morgan. So
No, it's more like a collective thing. You
Right.
participated in the breaking of a pact.
Oh, okay.
You
so
know,
we're accessories
in the same
to
way,
pact
accessories.
breaking.
You're exactly
Yeah,
you're
right.
accessories
Okay, I'm
to
just
a
making
crime.
sure. I'm just making
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
You're accessories to a crime of the old law, of the old religion.
I
You're like, I didn't rob the place. I just smashed in the window.
Right? And
I'm
then
absolved. I'm absolved.
and then she got the killing blow.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is there nothing in the old laws that say anything about one who deals in pacts who does not keep her own?
Interestingly enough, no. The old religion actually does not have stipulations of fiduciary responsibility, which is what you're talking about. It has limited kind of ideas about stuff, but mostly it's like if you go outside your pact, it comes back to you, and the laws will write it. So, it could be argued from their standpoint that Morgan finagled with her own pact and got murdered for it. It could be argued that you went against your pact, and you will one day be punished for it. In the eyes of the old religion. Infernal contracts do have stipulations of fiduciary responsibility. You can't interfere with them unless you do it through a series of loopholes and such.
Good old Infernals.
Well,
Fiduciary responsibility. That's the name of this episode.
See, and that's what you see, guys. The lesson that we should all learn today is when you sit down to talk to a hag
or an archfey
yeah,
or an infernal.
you ask them,
You need a
bring
lawyer.
a lawyer.
Yeah,
No, you-
correct.
or you a
What would
fiduciary.
Ronan say.
An actual fiduciary.
Yeah, you a
Ronan or
fiduciary.
JJ.
Then
Yeah, he
perhaps
was there in Bridgeton. He was.
Tried to make sure that my family didn't get screwed over, and it did not work.
And it didn't happen. It didn't work.
Correct, did not work.
Perhaps we should travel to Cragmandu or Mercenia and make our way to Droska.
I would probably vote Craig Moundu. We're probably on better terms with that.
And
The
Craig
locals
Mandu's
there.
closer anyway. But to Droska at least.
Indeed. Half guard.
what does it say in things of like the old religion of and what might hags believe in terms of people and abilities to change and grow? Would they believe that people are always going to be who they are? A pact breaker is always a pact breaker.
I would say hags believe people are corruptible. They probably believe people are corruptible, or maybe they just believe that everyone's rotten. You just gotta find the core.
That's a good way to put it. That's what my mom always used to tell me before she took me in at night.
You may or may not know that I refused to spy on Morgan. Was asked to and refused.
Sorry. Is that before or after you murdered her? No.
It was before, obviously. And didn't go into what we did lightly. Mostly after understanding what she did to Agnes, and that she couldn't be trusted herself. I'm not saying that that should make anything different or right or whatever. Just trying to give you a little bit more context. I say this because I feel like we will need each other in some way in the future.
You need us. You need us right now.
That's not wrong.
We do not need you. You are convenient.
We are. We are going to mess up Dupla's day.
Good luck.
Or at least we're going to try. And that will benefit you.
If our services do become convenient for you in the future, you do let us know.
There's a slash of fire.
Fuck, no.
But
Based on choices that have already been made, these are no longer allies open to you.
right? Yeah. But how can I make this more clear? DM.
Shall we go?
Start fire writing it, like, literally in the room.
Burn my burner.
You You've done like
No chance!
you've done the Batman thing where you've like
Yeah.
written it out in cursive.
Not gonna happen.
All right.
Should you have any other ideas in ways that we can be useful in the future regarding our common enemies, feel free to reach out and let me know. We will not see you again if it is in our power to not, without your express interest.
If I find that any of you should be useful in the future, I will just simply use you without your knowledge.
See, now that's the sort of thing that I just said that I'm trying to not have happen again. And that is exactly the sort of thing that does not help build any sort of trust.
I'm putting my hand on your shoulder, and I'm
I
just
have
gonna
no
be like,
interest in building trust with any of you. I don't find you trustworthy, and neither do my sisters.
I'm sitting beside you. I'm just like, perhaps we should call this one a day.
Sure.
Good luck banishing Morgan.
Thank you.
I'll turn and start making my way out.
If we're allowed.
They part. The beasts and different fey beings around you part. You guys are allowed to exit.
I'll be like, after. Well,
Mark
actually, I'm
those
not
under
gonna say.
allies.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm not gonna
catch a
say
stone.
anything. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna
Here's
say
a
anything.
gift.
I'm not gonna say anything until we're outside of the water. Actually, like until we're.
We
Yeah.
should not,
One thing you guys notice whenever you part away from the water is that whole strip of moss is gone. It's moved. You don't see it anywhere around. That whole strip of...
It was the creature.
It was like 100 feet. It was like 100 feet long strip of seaweed and fauna.
Just as we're just giving it a background.
Can I make a perception check really quick?
Sure.
Do I? Oh, that I need to roll on the table. That's a. I think it's a 14 or 15. Do I hear
I
the
like
sound
it.
of bagpipes playing at
No.
all? No.
Do I know what it eats? Does it eat malt? I'd
And
like to
you-
try to feed
It's
it.
about to eat some adventurers if y'all don't get your ass out of the
I want to
Alright.
believe it's just a swarm of turtles and a moss covered ring.
That's right.
I will ascend if we have no other dealings in the water.
No, we have to stop you from ascension. Ah!
Just grabbing me, dragging me down. Fingers in my mouth.
Oh god, why?
Because it's horrifying.
Alrighty, so as you guys get out of the lake and make your way landward, we're gonna take a break. Woo! Woo 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 woo!
Use message to make it sound like bagpipes. I'm just kidding.
It's just shitting all over.
Oh, I'm like, what
No,
button do
that's
I want to
okay.
press? So,
Delete stream.
We want to thank people, right?
Yep, clicking on it. So thanks again, Meepo, for subscribing. I thanked them last night, but I'll just say it again because it bears repeating. Thank you, The Real Taco Turtle, for subscribing. Thank you, Good Job Tommy, for following. Kindred Wolf, The Real Taco Turtle, for following. Kid Norgal, Norcal. I don't know what's going on there.
Thank you, Ledikins, for the bits earlier.
Yeah.
You know what? I do not have that update.
It's interesting.
Streamlabs,
Doesn't
you
tell
have
about
failed
bits.
me. Thank you for the bits earlier, folks. Well, this, yeah. We'll be back in 15, 20 minutes, guys. Thank you for sticking around.
Woo!
Yeah.
Kidding.
As the giant vulture flies.
Right.
Yeah, so I think I can only take one of you up. I don't think I can carry. No, I was a large creature and I could carry both of you.
Both of us this time.
Yeah.
And Justice could fly. in this-
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Because he
Justice-
became a bat.
Because he came back, yeah.
All right.
I'm-
When we get back across the plain, or I don't even have to get back
20
across
days.
the plains. I can just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
wild shape because it's less
Thank
than
you.
5 miles.
That's okay.
Cool. I'm ready to turn into a venomous bat.
Hey, Lucina.
I made us all invisible the last time. Do we want to be invisible to come back into the city? Since no one should know we're here.
Probably.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Especially if you turn into a huge-sized creature. Over the gate. Don't want to attract any attention. You're just Mothra.
So
Does wild
invisibility-
shaping break the invisibility?
Hmm.
Okay. Just curious because I know some things do.
No, it doesn't.
Uh,
Yeah, we
spells
checked
and
that
That's
last
attacks.
nice.
Spells, attacks, forcing
Spells
people to
and
make saving
attacks.
throws.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You
I
could
stab somebody.
You
with
could
a spell.
become an invisible Tyrannosaurus Rex at some point.
Give it time.
Nope. You'd
What do
have to
you
be
mean?
level 3.
Damn it. You could be an invisible Velociraptor sometime.
So yeah, I will use a 5th level spell slot to make us all invisible, right?
Alright.
So
you go-
3rd, 4th, 5th. Yeah.
So you use the same model, you spend the spell slot, you use your polymorph cloak ability, and you use your wild shaping. Make your way back to Tehran, which is the little floating misty island that the obfuscarant spire sits on, and you do so without issue. Bridgeton, as much as I described it, has an increased guard presence. The market is sparer and more sparse, and it is a bit dimmer and more gloomy than you guys left it a few months ago.
Excuse me.
You entered the obfuscarant spire?
Of course.
Definitely.
How's the place looking?
It looks a lot less chaotic than it did before. You've only been gone a day.
Right.
But it looks a little better. It looks more like Naz had it before, but it's still messy.
Right. That's all good. As we have returned, I'll announce to the room.
As you enter, you see they're at their kind of little desk that sits kind of in the center of the room. Did you find your journey fruitful?
I will look to the group and I'll say, I believe so.
Quite.
Yes.
Will you be leaving on your way then to other cities?
I believe
I
I'll.
think it's prudent if we leave as quickly as we're able.
All right.
Next stop is Cragmandu, I believe.
Unless, no, well, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, Cragmandu.
I was gonna say, unless there's some way we could get. Nope. There's no way we could get to Haggered. There's no way we could get to Droska. So nope, it's definitely to Cragmandu then.
Not as such. No.
We are going to be making our way to Droska.
The Iron Republic itself.
Indeed.
I myself have never been, not even in my previous lifetimes. I've only read about it.
It's quite far from the mists.
It is.
Would you like a token from there?
I don't know if tchotchkes interest me as much, but, if you bring me back a souvenir, I suppose that would be polite.
We can even see if we can find a book for your library.
That would be interesting. I don't have that many texts on Droska.
We would be happy to do so.
Is there anything else? Is there anything you needed of me before you parted?
Are you familiar with the other Mist Watchers?
Oh, of Haggered?
In this case, yes.
Mist holds a lot of different symbolism in different cultures. We're not actually all that related. My mist is the epic mists of the Glide. Their mists are more mundane.
Fair enough.
Are you able to facilitate us getting to Cragmandu quickly? Time is of the essence.
Yeah, I could get you there quickly. It will take me a little bit of time, but I can do it.
That would be much appreciated.
Should we do this the proper way this time and actually announce ourselves?
Oh no, I'll use a registered.
Oh, perfect.
Into the night.
It'll take me a couple. I'll say 2 hours. I don't know.
Do we have the teleportation circle for Still Tower?
Yes, I wrote that down.
Did you?
Would it not be better to use that?
Go checking on our
Yeah.
digs.
I will be sending you through official means. If you wish to go through unofficial means, that is entirely up to you. Or
I mean,
We
technically we own Still Tower, so
No, we do not.
kind of.
No one's given us the deed to Still Tower because we
What?
have not been back to that side of the
What's the
country.
progress on that, by the way?
you guys got no update.
I'm asking Naz.
Naz?
Naz might know whether or not there's been any
Oh, she's-
official word on
You
if
are
that's
asking
been
if
changing
you-
The
hands.
steward
Of the Tower of Silence. No, as far as I know, that's all been on the back burner.
That makes sense. There's been
But
plenty
I
for them
mean-
to worry about.
But I mean, whoever lives there owns it at this point.
Squatters' rights.
Vivern.
Vivern.
Yeah,
Vivern.
Oh no, it becomes an
And-
actual.
and-
Vivern and Urky.
And Urky
Yep.
Timbers.
You come back and they're both like corrupted.
It's Vivernin.
Vivernin, that's right.
Vivernin.
Vivernin.
God, there's
But
that
it's a
beer in
very
the basement
small. It's Vivernin.
Yep.
Not Vivernin.
Which no one has looked
Vivern.
at. It's just got a sheet over it.
Correcting you guys through like the interest. Oh, that's a good time. Pre-stream stuff, folks.
Yeah.
We're all having
but
fun.
it was recorded.
It was.
Secrets.
Lost to time no more.
Perhaps we should go
The
through.
time Patreon.
The time Patreon, yes.
I would say that if we are going to be booking passage to Haggered, we will have to go through official channels most likely anyway.
It would
Of
be
course.
better to enter the city on official means if we're leaving the city by official means.
So do you guys want to go to Still Tower or go to the Cragmandu's teleportation circle?
Well, we asked people to seal up Steel Tower, so that would probably freak a few people out if we don't message them first. So probably Cragmandu.
Maybe it's still
No.
tower on our way back.
Hang on now. So, let's talk about
We have 2 hours to
things
wait.
as it lays anyway. So, they're still going to be looking for whoever was responsible for Morgan. Speaking of which, I'm going to put the robe of stars in my bag of holding.
Okay.
You're wearing the last thing that she was seen in. I had no.
I mean, it wasn't the first thing. It was underneath everything.
Look at this delightful robe I just found.
It was underneath everything, but it was nice to have on.
It would be like killing Elvis and wearing a sequined jacket around.
I have leather armor on
Correct.
over it
I
that
know.
puts out
It's
an
just
outfit.
it's just the idea.
It'd be like having armor over Elvis's sequence.
That's right. It would be like that. That's more accurate. Thank you very much.
It'd be so covert.
So covered. Anyway, I'm going to put that in the bag of holding. Because I had attuned to it foolishly earlier.
Yes, they will be looking for whomever is tied to the death of Morgan. It was implied that they were looking for us, seeing as we were last seen there.
Well, they knew that we were in her company very often.
And they saw
And
us.
we were seen there, and we are no longer accounted for.
Correct.
Do we want to try to deal with that in any way, shape, or form? Because if we go through normal official means, our names are going to show up that we are in Cragmandu.
Perhaps
I don't believe there's any way to get to Droska without going through official means.
Matt, given my cover as Gideon and
Yeah.
being in the import and export business,
Is that what we're calling it?
yeah. Would I know of any way of like being able to like not stowaways, but like falsify cargo manifests or anything like that?
Yeah, if you're talking about getting out of port and traveling to Haggered secretly, it's doable.
I believe that we could potentially do this via subterfuge, but the risk is us getting caught. That being said, we might not be. How would I put it? The risk would be that would make us look more guilty, as if we were trying to flee the country unawares.
Here's what I'm concerned about. If we show up officially in Cragmandu,
They could detain us.
exactly, and also wonder about how we got, like where we came from. Because if we're going through official channels, that means we are here with Naz, right? They'll know we came from this tower. Or will they not know that?
So, official means and official means. So, Naz is an official, but she teleported you into basically her tower.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not recorded. That's not like a
Right.
junction.
Okay.
So she didn't teleport you in through the, whatever it's called, the teleportation circle in Bridgeton. She teleported you into her tower by her magic.
So instead of a flight path where you have someplace you've left and then a destination,
Yeah.
it's just the destination.
If you appeared in Cragmandu's teleportation circle, yeah.
If we were to have gone from Fort Mountain Hall officially, then it would be, we would have like we
Yep.
left here,
Yep.
we arrived there.
As far as anyone knows, you guys The last place you were officially was that concert. No one's seen you since.
But for instance, when Mafanway teleported us from Bridgeton into Fort Mountain Hall the very first time,
Yep. That was.
they didn't know where we came from. They just knew where we showed up.
No, she would have booked a flight path.
Okay.
Because teleporting in to an official junction requires a flight path. You know, it's all background. But
So teleporting into Cragmandu officially would show that we were leaving from Naz's tower.
Yes. If you teleported from Naz's tower, because she would book a flight path. That's what's going to take 2 hours. Yep.
So by
So
that
that's
logic,
the thing, and that would also potentially incriminate Naz.
So by that logic, the best thing to do would be to
Go to
teleport into Still Tower, and then we basically just say that we escaped the concert and have been hiding out in Still Tower.
Part of this mission is essentially trying to go to Regret and get the drop on Duplo LaCroix using void magic. So if you avoid all official record, no one, in theory, it'll make it less likely she knows where you are.
Right.
That is,
That's another side. That's another side of it.
I think that I've been convinced. Perhaps we can falsify documents and make our way without being caught.
Should we check in with Brahm, see if he can get us paperwork and passage?
I think the fewer people that actually know anything about what's happening, the better. I think that he's got his own means of getting us things.
I can do my best.
Would you be going through the college?
No,
Of course not. That's the worst thing that we could be doing.
I would not. I would try to do it on my own.
You guys still need to deliver Alric to Braum.
Yes, I know.
So let's do that before we leave, and then we can ask him. Worst case scenario.
We have 2 hours.
I think worst case scenario, there's some sort of leak or some sort of information. You know, Dupla deals in mind magic. There's no way we can guarantee that she doesn't have her hooks in here too.
Then why would we leave Ulrich with him? If we cannot trust Braum, then we cannot trust
It's not
Braum.
about whether or not we can trust Braum, it's whether or not we trust that Dupla hasn't gotten to somebody.
I mean, we can't just do nothing.
We have to learn to extend the trust.
So instead of talking about Alric like he's not here, I will look back over at Alric.
Oh God.
He's just
Yeah.
he's just
guys.
sitting up on the kind of whatever upper floor that overlooks this well. And he peers beyond his little tiny spectacles. Yeah. Seems to be reading.
What would you like to do?
I would like to be in the welcoming arms of my friends. As much as it would pain me to be away from you, I am not fit for whatever it is you all are up to. And I have a mission to fulfill. Strength to regain. The friends are our friends. If we can't trust them, then we can't trust anybody.
They've stood apart from the College of Whispers for a very, very long time.
And they are resourceful, even if Duplo LaCroix has flipped one of them, and it will not sabotage the other cells.
That is good. I just hope that there isn't any sort of hooking anyone in this one.
So I recommend anyone that cannot disguise themselves stays here.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I will find a nice book to curl up in a corner with.
And
I love the imagery.
Alric and I make it across town to the Devil Dog.
Maybe we should alert Braum that there's been that he should maybe do have some greater restorations done on him and his, just in case.
3 steps ahead of you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I will be happy to accompany you.
Only if you deem it necessary. Alric and I can at least make it across town, no problem.
I'm
But
at
you're
your
welcome.
disposal.
But you're welcome to come. You can at least check in on, what was the name of the tavern that the college had taken up residence in?
I don't remember. Then
But it wasn't right across the street from the Devil Dog, but it was the next, section of town over.
the nasty flagon. So I'm going to call.
Not what it's called, but
Not at all.
I'm going to
Not
avoid
as
that
such.
place. I feel like if I am spotted or made, it would be problematic.
absolutely. But at the same time, are they still here? Do we know?
I do not know. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I'm going to. What is the expression? I would not touch that place with a 10-foot pole. at this moment.
Was it the charging cherry, or was that the one you told him it was when it wasn't?
It is the it doesn't matter. Alright, I will accompany you. I'm going to use my magics, and the worms of shadow kind of crawl over me, and then I will look like what's appropriate for this area? Lots of half elves. I can't be a half elf. As a human.
Can't you be a half elf?
Oh, I didn't think I could make myself
Halfling.
Oh, halfling. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, misspoke. I'll just be a human.
Misspeaking happens.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, guys, if Lettykins was willing to donate the 1,000, why didn't you just go for the 1,002 to unseat King Butterfree? That's the question on my mind.
That's, I mean, I know.
Because 1,000 is this wonderful, nice round number that's just, it keeps all anxiety at bay.
What's your game, Lettykins?
Yeah.
When I wake up at night and text you guys about
This is we've been talking
your
this whole
papyrus?
time.
I've heard
This
anything.
is what Matt
This is your papyrus.
it.
So what are you guys doing?
Think about it all the time.
Why didn't you just go for 1051? You could have been at the top. You could
Was
have been
it
the best.
enough? But yeah, I didn't notice that earlier, but thank you, Lettykins, for donating 1,000 during a rerun earlier. That's awesome. So you guys, Selena, Alric, and Justice are going disguised to the Devil Dog.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll
And
be
then-
the old lady again.
Yeah.
With kind of, not necessarily a tattered cape, but just an older lady.
Alrighty. And how is Alric going to be disguised?
I'm gonna
He can't.
I'm
No,
gonna
yeah, he doesn't have that.
I'm gonna whore him up real good. I'm gonna he's an elf.
He's an elf.
I'm gonna try to mask some of his more elven features.
Alright.
Yeah, maybe just make him more of a fair human.
You would not appreciate this, but we could polymorph him.
Into an animal.
You
Yeah,
could.
into a small animal, and then he could just curl up in your coat.
Absolutely, actually, that might be more low risk.
Yeah. Not sure you would appreciate this, sweetheart, but you can't go as you through these streets.
No.
We can either try the old-fashioned method with some paint and baubles, or I could make you invisible, or we could both turn into animals and then just travel with
I
This
think
one.
that's the safest bet.
That whatever you think is most covert, I'll take your lead on this.
what's the most common animal I saw in the streets here?
Just become
Please
both
say
spiders and
raccoons.
just be on his clothes.
Just do
This is
spiders.
the easiest thing.
Memory serves. Yeah. Whatever the hell the mountain equivalent of a rat is.
It's a gerbil. We're gonna
Yeah.
practice some gerbiling
Oh
right
my
now.
god.
I don't know what kind of small rodents are common in the mountains.
Weasels. Minks. I don't know.
Alright, bug or rodent?
Rodent.
Rodent.
Rodent? Okay, so we'll be a pair of, I don't know.
Minks, weasels.
Get in there.
Yeah,
Ferrets.
small creatures that
You can ferret yourself away in just a
Oh.
Get in there.
Oh, you're wild shaping? Okay.
Yeah,
then
so
you
I'm
guys
gonna
can-
wild shape and we're gonna polymorph him before I wild shape.
Okay.
And,
You're a pair of weasels.
There you go.
perfect. Neat.
And you can each be draped around Justice's neck.
Or we'll put you in the bag.
Under his coat.
We've got a whole pocket of weasels. Is what you've
Oh
got.
my god.
Putting him in a jar.
That is why I'm not allowed in Macy's anymore.
Putting him in a jar of water.
Exactly.
So what are you disguised as?
I'm in disguise as a human male.
weasel
Brogan.
merchant.
All right. Okay, good old Brogan. Okay.
Good old
You guys
Brogan.
make your way to the Devil Dog. You're just gonna walk in plain daylight, right? You're not stealthing there. You're just...
Sure, yeah. Just a man about town.
Oh boy.
For this, I would say roll performance to get across town. You're acting as someone else. Oh, deception.
I get advantage.
Yeah.
To
You
pretend
get
that I'm something else.
inspiration.
No, I will say performance, but with advantage. Yeah, because you're an actor. You have an actor feat, right?
I do. That is a 15.
All right. So you make your way. You're sashaying kind of drunkenly, maybe like a little rough, like
Yeah, exactly.
like that movie Hook.
Exactly.
Yeah. Slug your shoulder one down. What is it like? Get a mean look in your eye. When he tells him to do the pirate thing. He's like,
Exactly. That's the best.
Yeah.
Shmee, what about Shmee?
Or what they just did with Caduceus recently too.
Yeah. So you enter the Devil Dog, and it is similar to as you left it, with the dark, cherry wood and the nice finishes and the enigmatic tiefling that's glowed with light at you once before. You enter and are greeted by one of the staff. And can I get you anything?
I do not have coin, but I come bearing many gifts.
That's right.
Isn't that what this is?
Nope, that's the myriad.
Just let him sink.
Sorry,
It's not,
sorry.
you're not there.
What was
Nope.
it? There was a thing I was supposed to say.
Just let it happen.
You're correct.
Can I roll like a memory check?
Roll intelligence. Yeah, let's just
Can
honor.
I assist because I would have given him that phrase before I turned
Nope,
into a
I
fairy?
want to watch
Nope.
That's an 8.
You're like, I'm something about being weary.
Is he talking to Brom?
I'm talking
I'm talking
you're
to
a weasel,
Steph.
so.
Yeah, you're a weasel. I got a couple
Double
weasels.
dog.
You're a weasel in his pocket. You don't know what he's doing.
We're weary from our travels and are looking for respite.
All
Is Brom here?
What kind of room can I... Yes, Brom is there, the enigmatic tiefling that glowed with light.
That's
Oh,
what
I thought.
just
Oh, I didn't know I
described.
saw him.
Yeah,
Okay.
you saw him?
I'm gonna approach him. I'll just be like, yeah, just kind of.
He looks over. Oh. Can I help you?
I'm gonna play this up for comedic value.
Correct.
I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna say, I've got a pocket full of weasel for you.
Oh my god, what?
How big?
Right, so fucking mighty.
I would say above average for,
I think he just
That's
called me
very
fat.
Are you selling them, or
Uh,
do you want me to pet them or something?
they might enjoy that. But,
This is a euphemism.
do we have a more private place that we can talk?
It's private enough. I'm sorry. You seem kind of familiar.
Yeah, and then I'll drop the disguise as into Justice.
Oh, was this a man? Oh, alter self.
This was
yeah.
alter yourself. I'll be, and then just Justice. I'll be like, hello.
Oh, it's you.
I come bearing gifts, and I'm gonna reach out and I have the 2 weasels.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna set them on the ground. They're gonna do. Get over here! I'm just picturing them not turning into.
Correct, because we're still in public, where other citizens of Bridgeton can see.
No, we're in the private area.
No,
you're not.
not a thing that happened. Everyone,
That's what I thought.
everyone else.
Oh, I
just do this.
completely
So
misunderstood the
as a weasel-
situation.
As a weasel, I will scamper up to Brom's shoulder. And with my little weasel paws, point over to the magic door that I know exists.
I completely
And
misread
give him
the
a weird
situation.
weasel wink.
He looks over. One of your weasels is getting away.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If we were in public, I wouldn't have dropped form.
You did it though.
Yeah.
I thought
Salvage
that
it.
Sorry, I thought I'd gotten into the private area.
So what brings you back in town
We have
with your
come.
2 weasels?
Sorry, I mistook the situation. I will say we have returned fortuitous in the mission with which we traveled to Mercinia. I do not remember the passphrase to get into the private room.
That's all right.
That weasel is somebody that you know.
Just the one? Do I know? Do I know both? Do I know both of the
Oh,
weasels?
because there's one on the
Just
shoulder,
a
right?
whole weasel.
I'll say they both are. One is the one that you tasked us to get, and one is your associate.
Oh, all right. Let's go to the back room then.
What was the fucking saying? What was it?
I am weary, and in my travels, I have suffered grievous injury and seen many of my friends fall.
That's too long. I'm tired and I'm hurt. Let me in. What is up with this?
Oh man, that was gold.
This
That
was
was
my
good.
moment to be
Using
like,
the myriad.
You're so,
Oh my
you're
god.
so suave.
such a fucking drunken idiot. Well, because then it was like, oh, Brom's here. All right, we're in the private area, I assumed. I don't know
It's
why.
like private enough.
Because you
No.
asked for a back room and he's like,
No, this is
No.
private.
Why would
Where
you
the
need to
hell are
ask
you?
for the private
Because he
room
said
if
private
you were
enough.
already in it. Anyway, moving along.
I thought like because there was a super secret mission and that he didn't want to talk about. You know, the
Listen.
last time we saw
No,
him,
you just told him you had
Anyway.
ferrets in your pocket.
I was trying to be funny.
I
It
know,
was
but
great. It was great.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
I'm really good at this shit, guys.
So small.
So I don't need these notes anymore.
So Usine Benoit said, "Just what kind of back room you're looking for?" Yeah, that's what Brong said. Alrighty. So you go down to the real tavern, as we call it, past the illusionary barrier, and the two weasels kind of get on the bench, I imagine, and Brong has you sit next to him.
So, who's back there in my weasel cell?
As in, like, back in the general tavern room?
So in the Friends of the Fallen room.
Yeah, the real tavern?
Yeah, the real tavern. Is it just the four of us
Yeah,
right now?
it's pretty sparse. It just seems to be him.
Perfect. Then I will unweasel myself and then unweasel.
Simultaneously
Weasel
dropping
yourself out of this
concentration,
situation.
and you appear. 1 minute. Wow!
Sorry about that. Someone can't remember anything from across town.
I just think he was nervous.
It feels like we have not been here in months.
I have that. Well, you haven't been.
That's the point.
I have that effect on people,
He's charming. That's what he's getting at.
and devastatingly handsome.
And modest.
Modesty's for chumps.
Thank you for saying that. So Alric, it is good to see you. And he stands up and embraces Alric, gives him a hug, a real nice, slow roast hug.
Yeah.
And he gives him a hug, and Alric sits down. I scarcely know what to say. It's terrific to see not only you, Selena, but your dearly beloved. How are you doing, Alric? Alric and him have a kind of brief exchange, and they catch. He kind of catches him up, and Alric says to him, I would divulge more in private company, but it has been an arduous adjustment. But Selena has given me great comfort. Brahm nods. So, I cannot thank you enough for bringing Alric back and coming back in the fold all in one piece. I'm sure you had a part in this, and thank you for doing that.
And you're welcome.
We will begin making preparations immediately.
What have you heard of what's going on outside the glide?
There is the masquerade ball coming in a few weeks.
go.
There's the
Remind
masquerade
me
ball.
where that masquerade ball is.
Yes, commemorating the interment of the blade.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so you mean like 20 days from now? Give
Yeah.
or take.
I think almost exactly 20 days from now, yeah.
Okay. We get to go to a masquerade ball. Yeah, you guys missed out. So many things have transpired between Mercinian coming back here.
You do look different. More confident.
Almost wish I didn't, but here we are. We'll need it in the coming days. So that ball is going to coincide with all hell breaking loose. I hope you guys already know of the Knight of Hell, General of Hell, of Voragash, and what he's bringing.
I believe you mentioned him a little bit when you first passed through.
I thought it was just a passing thing and we might have, stemmed the tide.
Right.
Nope, I was wrong. It's a thing. We've taken out like 3 summoning circles, and I'm sure there's half a dozen more. It's strewn across the country. One here in the Glide. There's at least one in Gish, if not 2, and God knows where else. There's got to be one down in the marsh, and I've not even been down there yet. So I can't stop him. We can't stop him.
So our worst fears are our worst fears are confirmed then that the Gish has been up to.
For 200 years. Ravis the leader of the country,
That's okay, Fiona. Quiet.
and one other signed a contract, along with the facilitator Duplacroix from Delmaria.
It was Creighton.
And
Archduchess
Creighton.
Creighton.
Yeah.
Angela Creighton.
So the Creightons, they gain power if hell breaks loose. In return, the church should be regaining more power. I'm not entirely sure how that works. 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5, but they've turned it into that.
Yeah, the boy Avery, who you brought us, has regaled us with some prophetic visions, and it
That's
seems
the
to
same.
be this is the fire he spoke of,
Makes sense.
and how we would all have to embrace each other. Like, I hoped it wasn't true, as I actually don't particularly believe in prophecies or visions, but I suppose you can tell the future when it's just a few moments away.
Yeah. Well, for better or for worse, we stopped a potential god from Ascension that would completely raise everything. Bring nothing but cold and ice and winter.
That is a difficult few months.
And we venture to regain allies with the storm giants and your back door, at your back door.
Yeah.
And allies from hell itself, I think, if we can regain him.
I think in time we can heal his wounds, hopefully within 20 days.
Yeah.
But maybe it might take longer. Well, that's a lot to digest.
I also would have told him about the Black Dragon and Duplacroix and whatever else encompassed all of that, but we don't need to take up time with it.
Mafanwe.
I was already
Well,
thinking
forward.
it about a minute ago, 2 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
So,
There's a lot to unpack.
And the fact that the O'Sheas have been dispersed. Most I don't even know where they are, but if you see them, pass along our good tidings. And Mafanwe herself, gone.
yeah, the Lady of the Meadows approached us soon after you left Bridgeton, asking for us to hide her family.
Good.
For a move that she would soon make.
And we did.
I don't even know where they are.
Nobody needs to know where they are as long as we helped where we could.
I was surprised when she walked through. It's dead in the middle of the night, all cloak and dagger.
Yeah, well, when you deal with ancient black dragons and 200-year-old conspiracies.
She said it was you who pointed her in our direction.
She was to be trusted.
Well, we helped her. Hopefully, Faylene will be safe and all the children.
As far as we can tell, you guys did very well.
Don't have anything more to offer you. Don't have anything to give.
I don't need anything, just... Well... We try to adventure quietly as much as we can to gather resources over the next 20 days. Be safe. Keep ours safe. Keep Alric safe. And we will be back. We will deal with hell. We will supplant Mercinia, and I'll give him a little bit of dealings with Moira.
Did you need any help forging documents or papers or anything like that?
I think we have papers to get us into Duraska. I'm not sure we have papers that could get us on a boat.
Indeed, that might be helpful. We are going to attempt to make our way to Haggered, and then... Well, Haggered. Yes, you're right. We do have Duraska.
I do have a contact in Cragmandu.
Okay.
If you're making for Haggered, it won't be comfortable. It's not even an elementally empowered ship.
Okay.
But it will be covert.
We can get to Cragmandu without lighting the fire, so to speak. Well, I don't know how much you want to know, but we can go up to Still Tower and then come back down.
Make for the I forget what the docks were called in Cragmandu, but Fallout I think it was called, or Shortfall, something like that. The docks of Cragmandu.
Yep.
Make for the docks of Cragmandu. Go to the local haberdashery there. Speak the phrase. To the less than pleasant. I hate to do this to you yet again. The less than pleasant gnome bought innkeeper there.
Did Eileen reach out? We did reach out to her.
We did hear from her about some things.
Yeah, good. Then she knows most of what you now know, so that she can prepare her and hers, so that at least people know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Dark days lie ahead, but we have each other to see us through it.
Well, if prophecy foresees, we have fire at the end of this tunnel. At least it's lit.
Hopefully it'll at least keep us warm.
Yeah.
Are you cold?
No.
If there is any last resort that you need, speaking of Still Tower, send people there. Erky Timbers and Busy at the tavern. Only tavern in town, you can't miss it. Owe us a bit of a favor, but are also good people.
I will keep it in mind.
They will take in anyone that's weary. They will make sure people are fed and housed. They've seen terrors and they've survived it. So, they are worthy.
Alright, well, I know that the next time we see each other, the situation will likely be worse.
Much.
But I just hope, I don't know. I hope you stay alive through all of it, and I hope we see each other through the end. Whatever that looks like. Take care of yourself, and I'll take care of Alec.
Thank you.
I'll just give him a nod. That's really. I'll let you do the. I'm just letting you talk. I just nod to him when we leave.
He does everything.
It's good to see you again, Brogan. That was exactly the disguise you used the last time you were in here. I knew who you were the whole time.
I know.
Farewell.
I'll leave as well.
Can you polymorph yourself?
Yeah, you can. You just lose, you become that beast, and you look at that sheet. You are that beast 100%. You access nothing else. You are that beast, that stat, everything on it.
And I can't drop concentration on it as
you
that beast?
You can.
Okay.
So you retain your alignment and your motivations, and you can concentrate on the spell. That's it.
Okay.
I would say you couldn't drop concentration based on an arcane understanding, but you could just drop it mostly on your turn. But you wouldn't be I'm gonna drop because you have no arcane knowledge as a beast.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I can polymorph and contain myself to his pockets to get back across town.
You can, yeah.
Then I will polymorph myself back into a weasel, I guess.
And while back here in the actual private area, I will re-Brogan myself.
Just wondering if you spent enough time back there to constitute a short rest when you get your wild shapes back.
I do, but we
I don't
didn't
think that was
declare
an
any of
hour.
that.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Just asking. Okay.
I'm just working with what I've got.
Put the weasel in my pocket.
So I would have said goodbyes to Alric, of course. Be away from everyone else and all that good stuff.
And he just says, I hope to see you again, and take care of yourself.
You'll see me again.
I have no doubt about it.
They said their goodbyes in weasel form. In that pocket.
That's right.
That's why it was so hot.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Hot, sweaty weasel pocket.
So you guys return to Tehran and the Obfuscarant Spire?
All terrible.
Yes.
Yes, we do. That was.
I love how much I colossally
You
fucked
really
up the
messed that one up.
entire scene.
It was amazing.
Pulling words from another dimension.
Yeah,
A campaign setting, Matt Mercer's campaign setting. Bring it in.
completely different.
Delora, my son.
And then I
Can we
missed
trust
her.
her?
And then, like, misunderstanding
The
where
chroma,
we even were.
the chroma conclave is attacked.
It's coming.
Right,
Marquette.
Sean. Can we trust her?
Dice camera action. Distant worlds.
My God.
Cloud
We have to
Strife.
kill Baba Yaga.
Legends of Adventurous. Just every
Just
stream.
every
like this
stream,
one.
like, I'm just
Yeah.
merging them
Except
all.
for this one.
Yeah. That
Are you
was.
happy to be here? Is that a weasel in your mouth?
I wanted to say that one. That one was.
That was important. Alrighty.
So you guys return to the Obfuscate Spire, and who would like to, or, yes.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I was sort of
Info dumping on Naz. The
Okay.
information that they would find relevant.
Okay.
Like the fact that the Son of Storms can be reasoned with and would be it's possible that we could reach some sort of accord with him, some sort of truce and understanding.
All right.
But it would take work on both sides, as Naz probably understands and knows, and relaying to Naz what that would take in his terms, who he would deal with. Also relaying to Naz the information that we learned about the relationship between the Countess of Avamere and the Son of Storms, and that the Countess of Avamere probably should not be trusted.
All right.
Trying not to overburden Naz with information that they won't find important or useful. Just,
I don't know if the Son of Storms is as reasonable as you make him out to be, but here's what I'll say. As long as peace can be restored to Bridgeton, I don't care who's the Lord of what, or the King, or the Council, or any of it. I just want there to be peace and order, stability. Not by whatever means necessary, of course. Not like that, but just
right.
if there is a path forward, I don't think it'll be easy or diplomatic or clean with the Son of Storms, but I won't get in your way. With just put an end to it.
well, part of the reason that I'm telling you is because I don't want more bloodshed. I want to avoid as much as we can. If he'll only deal with those families, well, and it's because he'll only deal with those families so long as they have a position to make those bargains, those agreements and those deals, because he doesn't believe the others can be trusted, and within good reason.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a legal way, with the legalities that sit as they are, that we can position so that those are the people who are enabled to make those agreements, so that Rendell isn't in charge. He can't have been doing everything above board.
The only way to oust a duke is through the Committee on Heraldry or the Circle of Red and Gold.
And they're bogged down.
Yes.
So that wouldn't happen anytime soon.
And they're also, the Circle of Red and Gold are also your enemies.
Right. Do you have any ideas?
No, not through legal means. The best you could hope for is to slow the council's proceeding, the Council of the Glide and the Lords of Bridgeton, the ladies and Lords of Bridgeton, slow their proceedings down, throw a wrench in their plans, but I'm not sure how much that would affect A lot of things are done through fiat right now, so I can't, as much as I don't like Rendell, and I don't like the Lannix, I don't like Trish, I don't like any of them, but as much as I don't like them, I cannot. It is against my oaths. It's against it. It's against me. I can't help you go against them. I can't, whatever that looks like.
Isn't your oath primarily to Bridgeton? Or is it primarily to whoever is ruling Bridgeton?
It is to Bridgeton, and by extension, the people who rule it.
What if the people who rule it aren't serving Bridgeton?
That's for someone else to decide, not me.
And if they're not following the legalities that Bridgeton follows?
My oaths don't have to do with legal technicalities. They have to do with
Feeling.
It's difficult to describe.
Okay. I don't know how much we can do.
I'm sure the Son of Storms will have an idea or two.
Well, we have bigger fish to fry at the moment. But we'll do what we can.
It's the most any of us can do.
I hope to keep it as bloodless as possible. But I'm just one person. And I don't know how much effect I'll have. Do you think that I'd be able to... Who do you think could speak for the O'Shea family, the O'Shea name? Me uncle?
Ronan? You mean at council?
Right.
Yes.
What about here? It would have to be him.
You and Ronan O'Shea are the only prominent enough O'Sheas left.
Okay.
Thank you, Casanova, for following. Buddy. Casanova is a Heroes of the Storm player. Former Heroes of the Storm player who I met in Austin a few years ago, who I believe we all know will be on a certain show sometime soon.
Late night spoilers!
Oh no! It's only rewarding those who have stuck around.
Stuck it out.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Casanova, if you watch Ghost in the Machine, I promise I won't be as mean to you as I am to these guys.
Don't
worse.
believe his
Run.
lies.
Run.
Don't believe his lies.
I'm nicer. I'm nicer to people.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I
He
promise.
might actually be nicer to you guys. He's more afraid of you than he is of us.
I will say it'll be less like a soap opera. Although based on what they've sent me, maybe not.
I don't think that's true.
They mean, oh no, look what he said in chat. Be mean to me, Daddy.
You see? You see?
Well,
It will be a soap opera.
all right then. Anyway, moving
Time to
on.
teach them a
Common
lesson.
redirect.
You give your players enough wiggle room and player room that they create the drama.
That's right.
You just lay it out.
I'm not culpable or responsible.
You are
That's a load of
absolutely
shit.
culpable and responsible.
Crack
But
a shit if I've ever heard one.
Thank you, Liz.
it's drama no matter where you railroad us, but we
As-
get to pick the railroad.
As long as we're having
Did
fun
not
through the
matter.
tears, that's all I care about.
That's what my mom always used to tell me.
What is with you in this phrase?
Coming back to it now. So we ended that, and you're back in Tehran in the tower.
Did we end that? I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to
what-
think.
Here's what Naz will say. If you really don't want bloodshed, there are ways to remove sitting dukes that don't involve killing them. Like kidnapping.
And so then...
And then we'll leave it there, because I think the Son of Storms is gonna, like, the door will open,
Okay, great.
and these two will enter.
Okay.
I thought you were saying the son of storm.
No,
Which I was like, that makes no sense.
the city.
So from my perspective, like to focus, like
yeah,
the,
that's
yeah.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Scene transitions.
So we've been gone, what, an hour and a
million
half?
years.
Perfect.
Eating
at
the mud.
Yeah, you've been gone
That was what
probably an
happened.
hour because you had to move carefully and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I
I will
will.
come out of mink form.
It's all gross. That would be funny if it was like
I
that.
just shed
That's
my
when the
skin
hag's
on
wild
you.
shape.
Right. I will.
Oh god.
A nice little mink trim on a coat, on a cloak or something.
At some point, I'm gonna turn into an owl. I'm gonna throw
Turn to-
whatever I eat on you.
Great.
Like
Great.
owls do.
Owl pellets.
I'm going to go meditate and regain my spent key points.
We'll
All
assume
four.
you guys take a short rest.
Okay.
So Naz is going to ask Sophilius, did you want me to use the to cast the teleportation circle? Just Still Tower, I'll have to know it. So
That would be fine. I will have to know it as well because
I would have shared it with you guys.
Alright.
so I can assist however is necessary. I've never done one of these before.
Oh, I'll show you.
Oh.
And they show you how to cast teleportation circle, which you already know. But you know, first story. Yeah. So whenever you guys are ready to leave, you can arrive in Still Tower.
It's all coming
Yeah.
back.
We
Do we-
maintain our 10 hit points still, which is nice.
Yeah.
Do we remember where the circle was within the tower?
It was in the basement.
That's what I was just gonna
Right
ask.
next
I think
to
it
our
was
It
in the
was
new-
either
our-
in the basement or on
our
the top
mirror-
floor, and I just
Our
couldn't
new mere
remember.
friend.
Yeah.
It was in the basement, right? We left the.
You know
left
what's
the
funny?
mirror
I have a
covered.
map. It was one of the two.
Okay, perfect. So wherever it is, I will go first since I cast the scroll of Ververnon, and
Vern.
close enough, and because he will recognize me, and then you guys were all in it too. So
We only need to go like at once. There's not like it,
Yeah,
it lasts
it's
6
in-
seconds.
It's instant. It has to. It teleports everyone.
yeah.
But she's at the head of the herd.
Mm-hmm.
Push her forward.
Pretty much.
Man, I still have the tokens when Dryden and Mrs. Kilgast and Erky Timbers faced off.
Oh my god.
How terrific is that?
Amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Can't
This is
show
gonna
them
be
on
the
stream.
first time it'll be on stream.
How did I label these? Do you imagine, guys? I thought I had them floor 1. Oh, here it is. Quarters. Roof. I'm asking you as if you guys would have any earthly idea.
Interregnum of despair.
Yep, that's
Oh yeah,
right.
that's the basement.
Some of the people who have known you for 20 plus years, they might be able to read your mind.
Right, exactly. So it turns out I did not label them the most convenient way, but I did label them, which is nice.
Perfect.
So it wasn't on the roof.
Okay, that's okay. Perfect.
It would have either been in like the basement or like in the.
In like the book study or something.
No, I thought it was on the roof because that's what was anchoring the weird green energy.
No, that was another room. It was. We will say. Actually, I didn't have it marked. So yeah, that was the summoning thing, and so we will say actually it is in the workshop, in the like the kind of the
Yeah,
workshop.
Okay, that
Sounds
makes
good.
sense.
Perfect.
So, as the Bridgeton, all the old tokens are on here. This is kind of nostalgic. As Bridgeton fades away from view in Tehran, you guys are teleported in. You appear. Oh my god. You appear in the workshop of Still Tower. So we are going back to pre-stream stuff.
Yeah.
So let's give it a quick little thing. You return to the stuffy. We'll just show it on stream. You return to the stuffy, not stuffy, but old stone tower of obsidian and with its green and black hues. The teleportation circle there is to the south. It'd be about right there. Appearing into vision, you see no creatures, no people or anything, and it looks to be much as you left it, with its various books, which you know are bound to the tower. And with its various forms of poison making, alchemical building, and you see a cauldron off in the corner, and other various supplies that you guys sent back here.
I would like to use message to just try a couple directions until I get them, but just send message to Vernon.
Vernon.
and say, "Hello, it's Gilly, and we're here. Just wanted to let you know so you didn't get startled."
Gully, you're back!
Yes, I am. I knew he was gonna call me Gully.
You hear it. And as a spectator descends down from the stairs, you guys have not been here since you liberated the tower from Voragesh, Lord of Still Tower, met Mrs. Kilgast, and made yourselves a little name in this lonely little town that was under the influence of a corrupt and decrepit lord. And with that, you're gonna call it for tonight.
Oh my gosh. This is like
Full circle to pre-stream.
Yeah.
it's
So-
it's been so long.
Can I still ask my last question?
Yeah.
Just quick. So the last time we were here,
Yeah.
the tower was corrupting the people inside of it.
Yes, and the whole city and the bandits.
Does it still have that energy now?
It doesn't. You guys quelled it.
Okay.
We fixed it.
Perfect.
Fixed everything.
And yeah, you guys did a whole stuff pre-stream. For more, look at the campaign diaries that we have on YouTube.
Perfect. Then you guys
Good,
can see
delightful.
everything else next week.
Woo, doggy! Well, thank you everyone who stopped by and showed love. It always means the world to us when people stop by and show love. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the follows, the subscriptions, the love. We are very excited to keep bringing you guys content. What do we want to say?
Go to our Discord and tell us what other content you want.
Yeah.
Because you guys keep talking and we keep listening and we keep planning and we're doing some awesome things. So just keep watching for all the things that you've already asked for. Because they're coming.
They are.
Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next week. We're
Some
people,
things are coming next week. Some
But-
things are gonna get talked about next week.
That's right.
Yeah.
But they're coming.
Yep.
So watch for them. Love us. Let us love you. And
Let us love you.
Let me.
We're
I'll never
always-
get tired of
Yeah,
it.
Always
I'm
open
just-
to new ideas. Anything that you guys
Yeah.
would want to see,
Yeah.
let us know.
Because pretty.
We have-
okay, well Matt might
Anything.
not be.
We
Pretty
have our
soon.
Discord and we have a
Yeah.
feedback section on our Discord.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we will have content every night of the week. It feels like
Not,
it.
yeah, we're
It
close
feels
to it.
Not quite,
almost.
but we're getting there.
So yeah, catch me on Urban Shadows and Variant Rolls. Catch her on Mondays and Variant
Yeah.
Rolls, and Alexis Attempts Arts Mondays and
Yeah.
Fridays. Divinity intermittently, and just all sorts of
Legit
stuff.
plays, yeah.
This Friday, I will be doing Alexis Attempts Art, and Matt will
Yep.
be joining me as usual, and we will be having a special conversation.
Yes, revolved around planning a one-shot with
Yes.
Tortle.
Yes, that is right.
And
Turtle time.
tune back next week where I announce our players, our all-new special little cast for Storm King's Thunder, which begins on April 12th at 9:30 p.m. Central. We will see you here on this show next week in the wonderful world of Edda. And I actually had it prepped this time, but I didn't click it.